I need to find out what they want rescue. I think they want rescue themselves. And I want to take my time to start to say so many things. I want to say one thing. This team that they are putting together on their side, Waika Kunti, one way to fight for them as well. So I just want to add one question on your press people. God forbid people elect Vice President Waika as president. He died in seat. Who will be president? So we're going to make Prince Joseph president?
Before more way, they don't want to be on the table on the beach.
Now what is going on?
That's not join Archie.
All right. So the way the election come out, you vote for him? So when you get money, you vote for Salman John. Why you not vote for Salman John?
Because Salman John are wicked man.
You understand? And the thought that how somebody can do that, but just we are what the people love, who say they will love you, who answer, nobody will answer. Because we're not protesting, we're not saying. You understand? Because you can't meet what you thought you can do, you will laugh on small bosses and steal money for you.
Opposition, He have taken on the border as a pastor and disgraced the Christian community. We are calling on the Christian community. We are opening campaign here, and also election commission. I want for election commission to talk. I dare them to talk. We are fighting hard to bring our political leaders together. And very soon, we will have one ticket. Very soon, we're going to have one ticket. If we want you to go second, you don't want to go, we demand you to go second. If we want you to go first and you don't want to go, we demand you to go first. It's not a matter of breaking anybody anymore. It's about the liberal interest and the liberal opposition.
The National Homecoming Day, like we said to you, emphasize, is about reconciliation. We want to reconcile all of our differences, all of the disenchantment whatsoever. That no man is infallible. Now speak less about an institution with people with diverse backgrounds. Come to say to you, extend our DPS as leader of this populous people institution. First time we took over, we extended our apologies to all of you. We say we are sorry. In our local, we say no man. Let us pass over.
Stay in your community. When 3 o'clock, go inside. If you don't go inside, anybody just to get a view outside, trust me, we are going to use the key. Let me let you know, we are going to use the key. When I mean the key, we're going to use the rattan. We will use the rattan. I'm telling you, because some people understand the rattan.
Okay, folks, so time check here in Liberia is exactly 6 minutes down 7 a.m. It's a very, 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 very wet morning. Most parts of the country is drizzling and in and around Congo town. So who's eating chicken, while elders are eating crumbs? That's one of the questions we will be answering this morning on the show. So who's crossing carpet and who's staying loyal? 2023 general and presidential elections is just around the corner. So political transfer window has been opened. You just thought that the end of June, we'll see the opening of transfer window across the world footballing wise. Well, in Liberia, the political transfer window has already opened and we're seeing cross carpeting. But some people are saying they're remaining put and they're going to be loyal. So why is it we see and we've been getting reports from some part of Bopolu and Bong counties that people have been fleeing their homes? What's happening? What's causing them to run away from their homes? We'll be speaking to our county correspondents in those counties as well. Oh, and today is World Environmental Day. Today is World Environment Day. Today is the day set aside all around the world for us to save and do something to preserve our environment. It's just simple as ABC. So if you're wondering how can you celebrate this day and still be going to work, the answer is simple. Don't throw plastic bag on the street. Just do that simple thing. Try to save the environment. Just don't throw the plastic, bag on the street, or the plastic wrapper, or any kind of trash for that matter as well. Put it in the taxi cab. Once you onboard the taxi or onboard your own personal vehicle, you just put the trash there. Once you get home or at a designated point where you can dispose of garbage, you just do that. It's simple as ABC, so that you can form part of the observance of World Environment Day today. As we are also celebrating in Liberia, we'll touch more on that. So good morning, folks, all across Liberia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those of you following us all around the world via Spoon TV Live. Wake up, it's a brand new day. It's the start of a brand new working week. Monday, people feel kind of lazy and lagged, but you have to shake it off and get on your way to doing what you have to do. Remember, no food for lazy men. This is the first edition of the brand new Today Show. We're now live not only on Spoon 107.5 FM, but also on Super 95.5 FM. So we're cutting across both stations, and this is how it's going to be. This is my first edition being back for almost 9 months. Yeah, somebody said, Diamond, when you left the show up to now, I had a baby. Congratulations to you. So I'm back, and it's a pleasure being back. It feels somewhat nostalgic as well, but I'm back, and I'm back to stay. So let's get that straight. And together we'll have a wonderful, wonderful drive time. That's morning show experience. Every Monday and Wednesday, I'll be on the show. Tuesday, Thursday, Yekezi will be on the show with Aaron Talu. And let me say good morning to my co-host, Emmanuel David. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, Damon, and good morning to our audience. It's a blessing to be on the radio this morning on the Today Show. And today is my debut.
Today's a debut. You just took the question out of my mouth. I was about to ask you, how does it feel switching studios? Let's not get this wrong. You've been doing the morning show on Super FM, but now we have a joint effort. We have a combined morning show cutting across Super and Spoon. So how does it feel?
Sure enough, I think this is a privilege to serve the nation in my way, because this profession is passion driven, and I take use of every opportunity that comes before me, and make the necessary use of it. So for me, it's a blessing, and I'm grateful.
Okay, the pleasure is mine as well, being on the show with you. So today is day number 127. We have 127 days up to the presidential and general elections in our country. And as we said, political cross-carpeting has already begun. But we just want to keep our people up to speed that we have 127 days to the 10th of October, 2023, when we shall be going to the polls to elect new set of leaders, whether we'll be maintaining the current government or we'll be changing our representatives or maintaining them or retaining them. All of those questions will be asked on the 10th of October. They will be answered on the 10th of October, 2023, man.
And I think that will be the time Liberia will decide. And, in these political periods, you will have alignment and realignment. And so that shouldn't be a surprise to people, because these are things that have been happening initially. So we're going to have these things happening, but we're going to see who's going to be very lucky in getting most realignment, so that you forge ahead as it relates to the election and have a win.
Okay.
I'm starting from the fleet.
Okay. So that's what we will be analyzing all through to elections day here in the country. And today is also day number 156 in the calendar year. So what have you been doing 156 days in this year? And after today, we'll be left with 209 days remaining in this calendar year. So if you made all of those New Year resolutions, I will do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. Oh, God, help me do that. We've gone 156 days. You left with 209 days. Those are a considerable number of days for you to get something done.
Certainly, during the start of the year, you have lots of people writing resolution, and they are some of them they are acted upon them. Some of them they are still reneging and waiting to see as to whether magic or something else going to happen along the way. But I think it's good to make use of the time, because time is of essence and time flies.
Okay.
So you have to make use of the necessary time.
Definitely. So let's bring you up with the lineup for today. So we have the day of segment. That's where we'll bring you the motivational quote. We'll also tell you the weather forecast for Liberia. We'll bring you up to speed with the foreign exchange rate in Liberia, as well as traffic tip bits as well. Essential commodities, will be told the prices of essential commodities, the flight schedule for the day in Liberia, and we'll also bring you up to speed with some county fares. So we're not just giving you the flight schedule for those arriving and departing from Liberia. We'll be giving you the transportation rates and fares for selected counties on the show this morning. We'll also bring you trending issues, both local and foreign stories. A review of the local dailies, sports and entertainment will be brought to you by Shannon Goe, alias DJ SNW. We will be cutting across Liberia to speak to our county correspondents and allotting you the time to also let us know what's unfolding in your various communities. All right, so at 9 a.m. this morning, we'll play host to Mr. Channel Jalo. He is a senatorial aspirant in Liberia. Channel Jalo is aspiring for the Montserrado County senatorial seat. We'll be talking to him at 9 a.m. This morning. So the show is on, and our motivational quote for today is simple: no food for lazy men.
Yes.
Do I need to explain that?
You don't need to say more. It is self-explanatory. No food for lazy men, and the Bible says it. It has some biblical reference. So no food for lazy men. You have to work hard, and life requires struggle.
Of course. So no food for lazy men. And if you want to translate it, God will bless the works of your hands.
Certainly.
So there you have it. All right, folks. So let's now cross over quickly to the weather forecast for Liberia, and we do get our weather readings daily from BBC weather for Liberia, and they do get theirs from the observation station there at the Roberts International Airport. So today it says light cloud and a gentle breeze. That's the general forecast for today. Temperatures ranging from 19 degrees Celsius, that is the highest, to 12 degrees Celsius, that is the lowest. From 7 a.m. this morning, we should expect it to be a bit cloudy as well, and we should expect it to be cloudy according to BBC weather. From 7 a.m. up to 4 p.m. 5 p.m. as well, still cloudy. At 8 p.m. That's at 6 p.m. we should expect some sort of brightness in the day, in the evening, according to BBC weather. And throughout the course of the night, we should expect light rain showers from 7 p.m. up to Tuesday morning. We should also expect some light rain showers during the course of the day. So what you need to do is to go out there with your rain gears. Don't leave them at home. Take that as a precautionary measure. Visibility is good, and humidity is at 64%. So there you have it for the weather forecast this morning. Let me say good morning to folks watching us across the world and Liberia. Good morning to you, Christopher Fan, one of our correspondents from Nimba County. Good morning to you, Christopher. Good morning to you, Daxinus Twa. Yeah, you said a punch, but there's a spoon, so you just a minor error. You correct that as well. Good morning to you, my brother, strong man. How are you doing? Good morning to Robert Kapu.
Yes, that's Robert Kapu.
Robert Kapu, how are you doing? Good morning to Emmanuel. We are Dakena the first. It says, good morning, Spoon TV. My name is Emmanuel. That's Edward. Edward, we are Dakena. I'm following from a political office of Honorable Snotty Sherman, the incoming representative, hopeful of district number 12, Montserrado County. Good morning to you, Mel Kamara. How are you doing, my friend and brother? Good morning to Real Comes. Hope you're doing great as well. So this person, we cannot read your comment as well, and we'll get it off the page. In as much as we disagree, we have to disagree in a very, very civil manner as well. Real Comes is watching us from France. How are you doing there in Europe? Good morning to Testimony Ebony Doga. How are you doing? It's good to know that you're watching. Emmanuel, you can read some of the comments as well. Good morning to Archie Bernard. Good morning to Aaron Duna, and good morning to all right.
It's
so you can
I'm seeing Archie Bernard here, and I'm not seeing the rest of them coming through.
Okay,
so you just continue from your
okay angle. I'll do that. So good morning to Moses Gue, watching us from Des Moines in Iowa, USA. Good morning to George Patrick Bala, watching us as well. Good morning to Kesse and Kesse, watching us from Hanover in Germany. Good morning to Goodness Pay, watching us from Lagos, Nigeria. All right. Duke Gabriel, Fit Father says it's another day to be alive. Lasana Finta Kamara is watching us from Montserrado County, district number 2. All right. So Black Diamond, how are you doing? Triple K. Connie is watching us from Mumbai, India. All right, folks, we'll read more comments as we progress on the show. So let's now go quickly to the daily Forex exchange rate from the Central Bank of Liberia. So if you're taking your money out there, you do know the Forex exchange rate as well. So from the Central Bank of Liberia, the daily Forex exchange rate, that is Liberian dollars to United States dollars, the buying rate from the CBL is 168. So 1 United States dollars is equivalent to 168 Liberian dollars. The selling rate is 170. So 1 United States dollar is equivalent to 170 Liberian dollars. That is set by the CBL.
Yes.
So if you're doing the conversion, if you are doing the conversion, 5 USD gives you 840 Liberian dollars. But that's for the CBL.
Yeah.
But when you go out on the streets, Emmanuel, what rates do you see?
You will have yesterday I found out that the rate was at 172, some area 173. So if you change $5, you will get some $760.
700 or 800.
It's 60.
Somebody bump you for that $100.
Yeah, 800. It's still to be correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
All right. So the CBL's rate is quite different from what we see out there. So we just bring you up to speed. But once you go out there, you see people exchanging for 173, 174, depending on where you're going to get your money exchange. If you like higher rate business, some people will give it to you for 175, but you have to be wary and kind of cautious about this whole high rate issue. All right, so let's go quickly to the prices of essential commodities. For the prices of petroleum product, from the GOL monthly approved pump price as per the last circular. So the last circular was released on May 11, 2023. So we're waiting for the circular for this month that is going to affect July. So from the last circular released by the government, the price of gasoline, the pump price, the retail pump price for a gallon of gas is at 4 United States dollars 70 cents, which is $7.95. Yeah, so $7.95, and for fuel is 4 United States dollars 95 cents, which in Liberian dollars is
$8.35.
Good, there you have it, but no maths. Well, 8.35 Liberian dollars is the pump price for a gallon of fuel. But if you go to the major filling stations, yes, at Connex, at Petro Trade, at NP, no more Total. It's not Connex.
Oh, Connex. Okay.
Yeah. So at Connex, and the rest of the major filling stations, you get to buy a gallon of gas for $7.95 and a gallon of fuel for 835 Liberian dollars. But at those minor filling stations, the ones we see by the wayside, the Cam Boys, and those who retail, they have the gallon of gas for $7.20, $7.50
based on the location.
Yeah.
Based on the location.
Yeah,
The further the higher the price.
Yeah.
Because they want to maximize profits as well. So they will have to add additional as per the transportation fare in transporting their petroleum product and other things.
Yeah. So you're talking about hinterland Liberia.
Certainly.
So this survey covers majority of the entire of Montserrado County and some parts of Margibi County, but further in country, as Emmanuel rightly put it, the price of gas and fuel, the prices are much higher than what we're giving you here. Other factors come into play. So let's go to rice. Essential commodities, the 25 kg rice, the average price is $17.55. At the rate of 168, that's at the central bank's rate, that is 2,850 Liberian dollars. At the rate of 175, that is if you're taking Liberian dollars to go and purchase, people ask for higher or more Liberian dollars. If you go into buying Liberian dollars, the average price might just be somewhere around $3,075 because you're taking Liberian dollars and they want to convert that into United States dollars for 25 kg average Joe bag of rice. And
the issue of the increase of price, it also relates to the rice, as we stated initially, the commodity products. So the further you go in the hinterland, as Damon said, you will have an increase in the price of rice, especially the 25 kg bag of rice. So if you go in places like Sano County, you find it for a certain amount. You go in places like Grand Bassa County is a little higher, but Sano those far the rich counties like Maryland, you find it for a separate amount. So if you go into those places, you have to beef up your budget.
Yeah. So transportation as well is a main factor
Yeah.
in the prices of commodities all around the world, and Liberia is no, exclusion from this. All right, so folks, let's now cross over quickly to the flight schedule for the day at the Roberts International Airport. So we begin with arrivals today at the Roberts International Airport. So Air Cote d'Ivoire, flight number HF759 from Conakry, Guinea, is scheduled to arrive in Liberia at 4:40 p.m. Kenya Airways, flight number KQ508 from Accra, Ghana, is scheduled to arrive in Liberia at 5:40 p.m. Aska Air, flight number KP20 from Accra, Ghana, is scheduled to arrive in Liberia at 5:50 p.m. So that does it for arrivals today at the Roberts International Airport. For departures from the Roberts International Airport to other parts of the world, Air Peace flight number P4 7537, destination Accra, Ghana, departs Liberia or has departed Liberia. The flight did leave around 1 a.m. this morning. Aska Air flight number KP21, destination Accra, Ghana, departs in 7 minutes from now at around 7:30 a.m. Air Cote d'Ivoire flight number HF759, destination Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, departs the country at 5:20 p.m. And Kenya Airways flight number KQ509, destination Accra, Ghana, departs Liberia at 6:40 p.m. So there you have it. Emmanuel will bring us up to speed with the.
So we'll go through the transport fares. We will cut it into portion. We will deal with Central Liberia and Northern Liberia today, and then on Wednesday we're going to have the Southeast. So Central Liberia to Northern Liberia, we will start up with from Monrovia to Kakata, Texas, is $300 Liberian dollars. If you are going to Kakata, Margibi County, you have to pay $300 Liberian dollars on taxi, and also on from Montserrat to Bong County on Texas is $1,000 Liberian dollars. If you ride in Baus, you have to pay $600 Liberian dollars. Montserrat County to Ganta, that's Gompa City, you have to pay $1,500 Liberian dollars on taxi, and on bus you have to pay $800 Liberian dollars. Montserrat to Saclipli, that's Saclipli in Nimba County, that's Northern Liberia, you have to pay on taxi $1,700 Liberian dollars, and also on bus you have to pay $1,000 Liberian dollars. Montserrat to Saniquoti on taxi is $1,500 Liberian dollars, and on bus is $1,000. If you are going as far as Tapeta, you have to pay $3,000. And if you are riding the MTA bus, that's where the confusion is. Having some conversation with some motorists on that route. If you're riding the MTA bus, that's the government transport agency. That's the National Transport Agency, is owned by government. You have to pay from Monrovia to Ganta, you have to pay $500 Liberian dollars. So you see that. And then from Monrovia to Saclipli on the MTA bus, you have to pay $1,000. From Monrovia to Saniquoti, you have to pay $950. And Vonjoman Lofa County, from Monrovia to Vonjoman Lofa County, you have to pay $7,000 Liberian dollars. And from Monrovia to Zozo is $5,500 Liberian. So that would do it for the transport fares.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emmanuel David. And somebody said, you're putting saying in some people Gary, because when some people want to ask for transportation, they will call three times the amount. And we are informing people, but it's for the greater good, so that you don't have to be guessing what's the transportation fare from Monrovia to Saniquoti. When you mentioned Kakata, I was kind of stunned by the fact that it's $300 Liberian dollars from here to Kakata. It's unpleasant though when you go out of town, because the drivers, if it's on taxi, they will take 5 at the back. Sometimes they take 5 at the back. Most of the times it's 5 at the back, and they take 2 at the front. And then they have people that are riding VIP.
Yeah, if you are commuting long distance, you want to feel comfortable.
I go for comfort. If it means I will pay for an extra seat, let me do that.
So you have to pay for an extra seat to be free and relax yourself.
Yes, I'm not gonna go from here to Ganta or from here to Vonyama, crumpled up with somebody else. No, if
very uncomfortable.
you think I can go get cramp and I can walk with my foot be
And when you get there, you walk as if to say you're
no,
crippled.
no, I wouldn't do that. But we're not trying to post saying anybody's
yeah.
We're just giving out the needful information as well.
Honesty pays a lot.
It does.
So you have to be honest.
Yeah.
As you go through this life.
All right. All right. So somebody says it's Honorable Sir Joseph. He says from Monrovia to Kakata on the Monserrado transportation service is $100 Liberian. So while the NTA, the National Transit Authority, put in saying the drivers in the commercial vehicles, driver Gary,
Sir Joseph was saying that Gary.
Yeah, but somebody say Sir Joseph get plenty gas slip, so it doesn't matter. All right. So somebody sent a comment and said Musa Sano said we bought rice for 3,100 in Boys Town.
That's what we said initially.
We did say that the distance also affects the price as well. So as you're trying to get the chief of traffic,
certainly,
we'll be playing host to the chief of traffic of the Liberian National Police, John Sa. He'll be bringing us traffic tips as well as safety tips, road safety tips as well. So Emmanuel is trying to get Mr. John Sa on the show. So let's go through some comments as well. George Lamindine. George says, good morning, Diamond Slanger, Emmanuel David. Following from the headquarters of the Citizens Action Movement in District number 6. So let's go over more comments from those watching Spoon TV Live. Tatas Faya says, good morning, Spoon. I'm watching you from Bamako, Mali. So we have, all right, so we have the chief of traffic of the Liberian National Police, Mr. John Sa, on the show. Let's bring him up. Then we can get some traffic tips from him as well. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Emmanuel. Point of correction, I'm not a chief of traffic.
Okay.
I am the chief of public safety.
Okay.
I supervise the chief of traffic, the chief of highway patrol, and the chief of motor vehicle.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the correction. Let's get that right. The chief of the motor division, right?
I am the chief of public safety.
Okay, chief of public safety. All right. So you want to give us quickly an overview of what your job is. You just gave us a little tip that you supervise the chief of traffic and the chief of highway patrol. So being chief of
motor vehicle
and the chief of motor vehicle, being chief of public safety, you in charge of all of us safety, whether motorists or pedestrians, road users, all of us as well. Tell us more about your job a bit, sir.
I think you just talked about it. I'm responsible for the safety of the people that move along the road. The way they move, how they move, the way they interact from and to work or to school or other services.
Okay. All right. So thank you again for honoring our invitation to give needed information to Liberians. So go ahead, sir.
Walk us through the issue of the traffic violation and some and provide some education as relates to a motorist as well applying the street of Monrovia.
The traffic violations are so many. So we talk about. Let us talk about. Maybe we can talk about the rules of the. We just talk about it in a very light manner, because if we still want to go in depth,
those essential ones for now.
So let's talk about the rules of the road and some of those rules. So first, what are the rules of the road? The rules of the road are those rules, the do's and don'ts of the road. Things that you're supposed to do and those things that you're not supposed to do as you drive along the road. So let me just pick few.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it. Let me talk about driving under the influence of drug and alcohol. So that is in 10.90 of the vehicle and traffic law. They say, but it should be drunk and drive. Nobody should be drunk and drive under. Nobody should drive under the influence of drug or alcohol.
Okay.
But the law gave a small way for somebody to drink at least a bottle of Henneken. They say you can drink 0.05% of alcohol. Anything above 0.05, then you have infraction of the law. So driving not only alcohol or drug. When we talk about drug, and maybe we refer to medical drug. I mean, besides they get narcotic drug and they
those
get medical
illicit
drug.
substances.
So let me talk about the medical drug. For example, you went to hospital and you had malaria, and there are drugs that you can take, and then those drugs make you dizzy, and then you are not to drive because when you drive, you could get yourself involved into accident that could result to injury, death, or property damage. So when you take those kind of drugs, because anytime you take a drug, the doctor can advise you when you take it, don't drive. But some people could take them and they continue to drive, which is very, very wrong. Then signal to display by disabled vehicle. This is a very serious one. 10.85. Vehicles, people just drive along the road, and when their car break down, their truck or other vehicles break down or develop mechanical problem, they just abandon it, or plain grass. What is the meaning of the grass that you take from the bush and place on the road? For us, it doesn't mean anything. Those things that mean something could be a triangular sign.
Okay.
Or if you can put a cone there, or you put your emergency lights on so that the incoming vehicle can see you from a very long, maybe 500 feet, see you from that distance, then it is good for you to do that.
Okay.
Then we'll talk about parking, how to park your car. The main focus for parking a car is the parallel parking. Parallel parking, we mean park the car to the curb. You know what they call the curb? The CURB.
Yeah, the edge of the road there.
The edge of the road. So you park the car straight in that manner, and then your car will be safe. Not bending the car butt or bending the head, some kind of way.
No bullet parking.
Yes, now you call it bullet parking.
Yeah, the public safety people call it parallel parking.
Yeah. So now let me talk about 10.82, removal of vehicle parked in prohibited area. This is where the people are finding it very difficult. When they're driving a car, the car break down on the mirror, when they pull onto the car, then they start calling all around. No, before you take your car from your house, make sure you check it. There are minor checks that you can do as a car owner. Then there are major checks that can be done by mechanics. So let me talk about those minor checks. Signal light. You get up in the morning, you open the car hole, you check the water, you check the oil, you put your headlights on, beam and dim. All that can be done by you. You go around the car to make sure that all of the lights are on. Those are minor checks. But just in case you were checking the car and noticed that the brakes were not good, don't say, let me manage. Take it to the garage. So those are some of the rules I'm talking about. Then 10.52, certain U-turns forbidden. That certain U-turn forbidding is that you cannot turn a car 360 degrees. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let's say you were driving from Monrovia to Wall Town. Then you get to Cloudtown store. Then you just turn all the way back. No, they say you should not turn that way.
Okay.
It is very dangerous because it is dangerous. It could lead to accident that could cause injury, death, or property damage. But you can make a U-turn because it's a certain U-turn. That is a U-turn, but it's a complete 360 turn. Then 10.45, let's talk about leading to emergency vehicle. This is another place where we have problem.
Yeah, ambulance coming, you won't leave the way.
Motorcycle chasing them.
Yeah.
The other day, sorry for the loss of life. The president was being escorted. Motorcycle interfered into the convoy. Accident took place. Just the other day when the president was coming to Clarendon, I was on the bridge. Just as he passed, more than 50 motorcycles were falling. I had to stop them on the bridge, in the middle of the bridge. That's where I was. I told them, if you pass, then you myself will settle, because you tell me why you're following him. You are not to follow the convoy. So some vehicles, I don't know for what reason, as soon as emergency, not only the VVIP, but other VIPs, ambulances, fire service, police vehicle on emergency, when they are making their way, then you start to chase them. No, you don't even know what they're going for or what they're doing, and you are there busy running after them. So that is very, very dangerous.
Okay.
So let me go to the intersect, approaching and entering intersection.
Thank
10.40.
you. Thank you. Because we have a lot of issues as to who's got the right of way, who's got the right of the way, who's right, who's wrong, who should stop and who should go.
That is what we call the intersection rule. So the first rule says that when you drive to an intersection, the first thing you do is you stop. Then you look left. Why do you look left? It is where the incoming traffic comes from. So you look left. When there is no vehicle, or when the vehicle is far off, you now enter and make your turn. Then the second one says that when you were two vehicles coming from opposite direction and you get to the intersection at the same time,
okay. So we lost Mr. Johnson there. We'll definitely bring him back on. So we had like a minute to go. We had like a minute to go to get more tips from him, but he talked about a lot, and I'm sure we will talk to him tomorrow as well. And people have got questions, so we already pressed for time, so we'll pick up with Mr. Sa on tomorrow as well. So now he talked about a lot of road safety tips, so he's calling back. We can allot him the minute quickly and wrap up and move to our next segment as well. Thank you for rejoining us, Chief.
I don't know that I lost you. I lost you in a way.
Yeah.
I was talking about
two vehicles arriving at the intersection at the same time.
Rule.
Yeah.
So the first rule says the vehicles that enter and cover the greater portion of the intersection has the right of way. So let me give you an example. Broad and Johnson Street. You were coming from down the hill going up, and the other man coming up. That's a one way, so I will not go to that road. Let's say Basel Community. Okay, you are coming from down Basel Community, and the other one coming from Jalo Town. The two of you facing each other. When you get there, the rule says that the two of you should stop. The one that is on your right hand side, because the two of you facing each other, one person is on the left, one person is on the right. The vehicle that is on the right, you allow him or her to go. But if you get there first, you have the right of way. If there were three vehicles, all the three vehicles should stop and follow the same rule. If there were four coming from the four meeting at that 4 point, there's one coming from the left, the right, one from the east, west, south, and north. So all of you stop, and then those that are on the right start to move. I wish I could perform that. When you see me, then you will know what I'm talking about. Very easy. There is going to be no accident. So those are some of the rules.
Thank you.
Then,
Mr. Sa, we have to leave it at that for now. We already pressed for time. We will continue on Wednesday with more tips as well. But once again, I love to say thank you so much for availing yourself, not just to bring us up to speed, but to educate us as well, because many of the things that you did say, many of us are not aware. We'll also be asking you questions as to your division and government's responsibility in ensuring public safety as well On Wednesday, we want to talk about road signs, the availability of road signs. We want to talk about the assigning of traffic police or motor safety division police on the Liberian National Police. We want to talk about so much more. And I'd love to say thank you again. Many public servants, as yourself, should avail themselves to provide the needed information, because prevention, at the end of the day, is better than cure.
Thank you, sir. And I think you are. I think we should say kudos to you for even letting us on your radio. These are some of the areas we're lacking, because we need to educate our people. Our people do not go to driving school. We are pressing for them to go to driving school. It is because of lack of education. I was always say that is why they drive the way they drive. If they were going to driving school, I think they would follow the rules.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So Mr. John Sarr is the chief of public safety at the Liberia National Police. He's going to be our resident, expert on the show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well, to provide us traffic tips, and we'll also be asking the needed questions. Someone wants to know driving and communicating on the phone, if it's prohibited in Liberia. Wednesday, you'll have all of the time to ask all of those questions. So we'll take a short break to be right back. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM, also live on Super 95.5 and on Spoon TV Live on Facebook. My name is Diamond Slanger, and my co-host is
Emmanuel David.
We'll be back right after this commercial break.
But what are you doing your business and grow so quickly? From wheelbarrow to the table, now you get hostel. I hope you know.
Bob, waiting. That's just simple. Oya microcredit changed my life, my dear. I just had to call them on 0778 555 444. 0888 555 444. And they gave my first loan quick.
Me, I know that the Oma lending now put in the hustle and the intra umpa I know it. Have a get a cement bed.
Like what I say you better for. For Oya microcredit loan, you just need any of your national ID card. You don't need any initial deposit. You don't need collateral. You don't need susu. You don't need account opening. You don't need savings. And the interest is very low if you want money to grow your business as fast as possible.
But on my way now to the office.
But you don't need to go anywhere. Just call Oya on 0778 555 444 or 0888 555 444. Or you come and just give me small thing to tell me thank you.
For the best in quick microcredit to grow and expand your business, look no further. Call Oya Microcredit on 0778 555 444 or 0888 555 444. We do not give loans over the internet. Oya Microcredit, lending made simple.
No matter the matter, I'll be baby, calm down. Yo, this your body.
Quality bikes, quality bikes, quality bikes. Snesta Trading Incorporated is now in Liberia to provide you reliable and quality bikes for your business, private and commercial usage. And guess what? Snesta Trading Incorporated currently has the world premier motorbikes, Hero Hunter, now on sale at affordable prices. At Snesta Trading Incorporated, Hero Hunter, the #1 motorbike in town of India, is given to you for 6 months of service free of charge. And the good thing is, all the parts of the Hero Hunter motorbikes are right here in Liberia from India. And remember, the Hero Hunter motorbike is first class and the long-existing brand of India. We also have all the recommended engine oil for your motorbikes available right here in Liberia at Snesta Trading Incorporated. And my people, that not all, we also have original Exile batteries. It's the #1 battery product of India, and it comes in all sizes. To find us, you can check us up at Packer Spring Junction near the gas station, side Coca-Cola's factory, and the Island Clinic Junction in Douala. For more information, you can call us on 0777 888 654 and 0777 888 501 and 0777 6695 8888. Hero Hunter Motorbikes with Let's Start Trading Incorporated. We are the number one.
Radio Entertainment Liberia and Spoon FM 107.5 presents the Mika Daily Cash Splash. Yes, thousands of dollars are up for grabs, and all you need is your ear to listen and your MTN mobile money account to win. And plenty money they giving up. Just dial *799 hash and select Spoon FM and put in your bet. Each bet is $100 Liberian, and you can bet as many times as you want. The grouper is every day. The money will flow. It will flow. It will flow. From morning to night, the Spoon FM Mega Daily Cash Splash. Listen to your radio and winning ma and smarty. Liberia get better. Remember now, Radio Entertainment Liberia is licensed by the National Lottery Authority. For inquiry, 0887-400-044 or 0770-400-044. And the game is for 18 years and above.
Just making phone tip me.
Tell boy, what's up?
Hey, Drew, I grew up.
Tell boy, you know why they can sell scratch card around here? I was just on the phone with my Oma and did my credit feeding, and I can't even find anybody selling scratch card around here.
You said what? Scratch card? So fine, girl, you still scratching with your fine fingernails? My girl, you rather sleeping, yo. You not know you can buy credit and did I run the Tip Me app?
I have the Tip Me app, but I don't know how to buy credit.
My girl, listen. Just tap on services at the bottom of the dashboard, then tap on mobile recharge, select your country, Liberia, because of Liberia we in. Enter your phone number, then tap verify to display orange or Lone Star, depending on which one you're subscribing with. Then tap browse plan, select the amount you want to put in, enter your PIN, boom, you finish. You can buy airtime and data just like that.
Boy, easy, that all there?
No, ma, wait, that's not all. This is the juicy part. The tipping people say on your Tip Me app, recharge any amount of airtime, whether that Lone Star or that Orange, you stand a chance to win free airtime every week from now to the end of this year. Last week, my sister won airtime and she just calling all over the place.
Thank you for telling me, yeah. From now on, I'll be buying all my airtime and data through the Tip Me app, so my calling and browsing can finish.
Just making phone tip me. Okay, let me tell you what tip me now.
Okay, folks, welcome back. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're also live on Super 95.5 FM on Spoon TV. My name is Diamond Slanger, and I have Emmanuel David here as co-host on this show. It's now time for trending issues, and as we bring you the trending issues, you can send in your text reactions to all of the stories, as we'll definitely open the phone lines once we've got across the country to speak to our counter correspondents as well. We'll definitely open the phone lines, but as we're reading through these stories and discussing these trending issues in the country, you can send your text reactions to 0770 304519 0770 304519. That is the number to send your text reactions to as we discuss the trending issues on the show. So we kickstart with Love is Wicked. Yeah. We've been hearing a lot of stories about the good things that comes out of love and relationships and all of that. But this story we've coined as Love is Wicked. A 48 years old Sierra Leonean man. He has been extradited to Sierra Leone by the Liberia National Police, but he was arrested for attempting to sell his Jew. Yeah, he was arrested for attempting to sell his fiancée, somebody he had even engaged and promised to get married to. So he brought her to Liberia to sell her for 27,000 United States dollars. Is it that the market in Liberia is booming? But he was arrested for trafficking in persons by the Liberian National Police. So let's just give you a gist of this story as well. So the suspect, his name is one Arena Dauda. Yeah, a resident of Monvanga, Monyomba district in Sierra Leone. He was arrested by the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit of the LNP, the ATIPU, in Grand Cape Mount County, while attempting to sell his 47-year-old fiancée, one Asatu Passive, a resident of Decent Town in the same Mayamba district in Sierra Leone. So during the police preliminary investigation at the LMP headquarters, so he was brought to the Liberian National Police headquarters as well. He said he had purposely brought the alleged victim from Sierra Leone to Liberia to sell.
And that is
people bringing other things to sell, like onion, pepper, and other things to sell. People won't bring human being to come sell in Liberia.
That is a living commodity, and I think it is despicable. It is very evil for an individual to sell another individual, and that is a lesson to be learned. This is a time that we should know who we are getting along with, because you don't know the intent of another person. You and someone can have an intimate relationship, but deep down they have some different intent. And
but
that
Emmanuel, if the man want to make money, let us win. This trafficking in persons thing is not a new thing. People traffic children, people traffic adults, not just to Liberia, but to other parts of the world. People in this world we live, there is still slavery that is ongoing. Certainly. There is still forced labor that is ongoing. If we do a thorough investigation, most of these kids we see selling along the street sides and those things, they were either trafficked. They were brought on a false impression. Their parents were made to believe that they were brought to the city to come and get a better life and go to school and better off themselves. So it's kudos to the police for arresting this guy, but it's just one of these isolated cases amongst the many unreported cases. The man brought the woman from Sierra Leone to Liberia. He was even making arrangements with other suspects, to sell this woman, and that was when the entire plot was discovered. Yeah, but he has been extradited to Sierra Leone to go and face charges. But since I've been active in the media, this is like my fourth case of hearing that somebody attempted selling another person.
And these are things that happen.
We don't know who are the buyers.
These are things that happen, and besides, as you said initially, this is just one of a million cases, and you don't know what is going on in other places, and people are intentionally doing these things. I don't know as to whether it is a means of accumulating wealth for themselves, or it's just an act of evil.
27,000 for 47-year-old woman,
and that money cannot match that woman.
Yeah, it cannot match that woman. The men look at our age and the prospective buyer. I don't know how come he placed the price at 27,000. But 27,000 United States dollars is the price,
for a whole woman.
Yeah, that he placed on a 47-year-old woman. So a matured, fully grown, middle-aged person.
It sounds laughable, but it's very serious.
The man poor at 47,000, but thankfully he was arrested. Yeah, and they got brave.
Yes, and I will continue. I will re-emphasize my statement. This is just a lesson to be learned, because human these days, human are very desperate. People are very desperate. I just want to throw that out as a caution.
Yeah. The sad part is he has been extradited to Sierra Leone. I really would have loved the opportunity to ask him, like, what did he intend on doing with the 27,000, and how did he plan on sleeping, knowing fully well that he had sold that person if the business had been successful, and who were his potential buyers. If they were arrested, whether it was a sting operation that somebody posed as a potential buyer and then reported him to the police. We'll be getting in touch with Moses Carter to find out more about this particular story. So anytime somebody come right here and say, "Oh, Jew, I let you, or I want you ask them, who you want to sell me to?"
Yes.
Yeah, include that question in. I think what all you can do for me, or what all you want to do for me, what you can give me. Ask that one to say, do you plan on selling me?
That should be one of the questions.
Yeah. All right, from Sierra Leone to Liberia with love. Remember, from SL to LIB
a
to
living commodity.
Yeah, to Rago. And then people were under the impression that he was bringing her to come and introduce her to some of his family members in Liberia. So she was happy now, you know.
False impression.
Yeah, let me come meet my in-laws. And then actually bring her to Rack. So ask that question. Question. So you get plan to sell me now or in the future? If so, let it be known. They should be asking that question even during the marriage ceremony.
Maybe the man wanted to, sell that commodity and buy a new commodity.
What if he didn't want to sell the money? The woman started to marry different women using the money. You can tell the heart of human beings. All right, so move on to the next trending issue in Liberia. So this one we've called divided united opposition. You may ask, how come divided united opposition? So, well, the division is quite clear, as we can see. The CPP has picked Fixer 1 and Fixer 2. Their team is set and ready. In fact, they're warming up to go against Development 1, Development 2, Continuation 1, Continuation 2 in President Weah and Vice President Joao Taylor. We got Rescue 1 and Rescue 2. We got Broom 1, but we know who Broom 2 is. Yeah, Broom 1 are the Piasawa Broom.
Yeah.
So we don't know whether Broom 2 will be the Yard Broom.
I won't say Gonglo.
Yeah, he's the Piasawa Broom. Yeah, then Broom 2, probably Broom 2 might be the Yard Broom. Yeah, the one that got a long stick. Yeah, that you can be sweeping. So while Broom 1 is sweeping indoors. And some part of outdoors.
Out of the little corners.
Yeah, Broom 2 is outside all over to sweeping. Yeah, but Mr. Cummings has reiterated. He has reiterated that he is going to support any opposition party that will face the CDC in the runoff or that makes it to the runoff. He will support. But he's quite confident that his CPP will make it to the runoff. As to who they'll face in the runoff, whether it's the CDC or they'll face the UP, or they'll face the LPP, whether they'll face the ALP, whichever party that makes it to the runoff, absent the CPP, and that party is an opposition party, he is definitely going to support that party. This statement from Mr. Cummings is not the first. He has said this over and over. But the key question is, are we hearing this from the Unity Party as well? And other major opposition parties that will say, okay, we will throw our weight behind any opposition party that makes it to the runoff. That is the question. And secondly, this statement from Mr. Cummings, is it his personal opinion or his personal conviction that I, Alexander Benedict Cummings, as a person, I will support any opposition party that makes it to the runoff, absent my own party, or this is going to be the collective decision of the CPP? Because, mind you, Mr. Cummings might be the standard bearer of the CPP. He is the standard bearer of the CPP, but he's not the final decision maker for that particular party. He doesn't dictate what the policy is. It's not a dictatorial party. They must go to meetings, executive meetings, and agree on what the direction will be. 2017, we saw the ANC didn't support anybody. They asked their supporters to vote whomever they felt they needed to vote for. We saw that posture from the LP in 2017 as well. So to see a major opposition party from the 2017 election that did support, like the LP got a split because of that. The ANC people went their own way. So whether or not Mr. Cummings is letting us know on an insider information that the CPP is going to support an opposition party if they do not make it to the runoff, or it's just his personal conviction.
And Diamond, to be frank, that's a very salient question, and these are questions that need answers.
Of course.
Especially for those who are on the other side. I'm talking about the Unity Party. These are people who haven't expressed a similar intention. Mr. Cummings has been consistent in this. He has been very consistent, and his quest is to remove a disaster CDC, as quote unquote,
as he claims.
Yeah,
we'll play the clip as well. It's not
a disaster or CDC. So, the question here is as to whether the Unity Party has similar intent if they do not emerge in the runoff with whoever going to be as head, perhaps is the CDC or is another party, whether they will support an opposition unity. So that's a very salient question, and these are questions that needs to be answered. And Mr. Cummings has been making rounds, not because he's saying he's going to support, and that doesn't mean that he's optimistic that he's going to go as second runner or he's going to emerge in the second round. He has been making rounds, and people shouldn't underestimate the ANC or the collaborating political parties. People shouldn't underestimate the ANC. So we are still looking forward to other opposition parties as to whether they are applying the same route of Alexander Bennett Cummings. Remember, back then they were in a quest together, but due to some
CPP,
due to some internal wrangling, they have to go separate ways.
Yeah, another thing is, if Mr. Cummings is of this posture that Alexander Bennett Cummings, he didn't mention the CPP. He said he will.
He will.
He will. Now, we're waiting to know what is the stance from the CPP. Not just Mr. Cummings alone. But the question is, if Mr. Cummings has said that he will, if the ANC does not make it to the runoff, but he's quite confident that they will make it to the runoff, then is he also indirectly telling those who are using the bazookas, to tarnish each other's reputation in the opposition, that it's now time to quiet down the barrels of their guns, their comments, their negative comments against each other? Because if you want him now to support you, that is if his party doesn't make it to the runoff, it's not either first or second, because nobody is going to get 50% plus one during the first round of election. We have over 33 political parties in this country. We have independent candidates as well. Everybody going to jack some bit of the vote. So to come up and say we'll have 50% plus one vote in the first round, that is near impossible. No, they said nothing else. But another question again is this now a clarence call that if you want my support, and as I've said, that I will support an opposition candidate who makes it to the runoff if it's not me, to quiet down these intensive insults, these intensive, negative comments and the rest, and see how best we can leave room to save face when the time comes to sit around the table, that I would not feel so much malice towards you, and then say, okay, yes, my entire party now, we can throw our weight behind you.
If this will work, I think people in the opposition community need to refrain from getting at each other, attacking each other, because it creates malice. That's one, and it creates some inner feelings that someone would like to let go, because they are giving all types of names. If you try to give another name to another person, then someone starting and giving your support to that person, it will raise a question.
Yeah, the thing is, the people say politics is not static, it's dynamic. I might call you this today, we'll term it as a political statement, or we'll call it liquor talk. One or the two.
But in so doing, people need to refrain from attack.
So the leaders in short should start calling their supporters that, okay, looking at this, we all need to have some level of civility about what we do. But let's listen to Mr. Cummings quickly as he made this statement as well.
Charlene is smart. Charlene has the same values as I: integrity, hard work, resilience. Only we will go to every part of this country in the next 4 months. But the reason why I'm confident we will win is because we will do the work. Where are you getting your confidence from? Because you see, you focus on what you can control, and we will go everywhere. We will make the case. We will spend the resources necessary so that Liberians will have no excuse but to support. So I often say the economy that my area, everybody got an area, right? So we want to fix the economy. We want to fix the economy. We want to fix Liberia. You say the economy is damaged. How can you fix it? So let's just establish some facts. Go ahead. Right? It is a fact today that Liberian salaries were reduced by this president. Fact. It is also a fact that people are not getting paid regularly. It's also a fact that unemployment has increased since the President came to power. Are you better off today than you were 5 years ago? Russia is rampant. That if you build businesses and fulfill the law, people will feel safe in the country. The people that salaries regularly, that by definition will help to grow the economy. Then we will National Youth Service Program, again, to get our young people off the street. We'll focus on youth entrepreneurship. You know, we got the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I'm thinking about youth sports and entrepreneurship because we want our young people to win this start with small businesses. We want to train them, we want to facilitate. O'Neill, I want to sleep well with myself. I want to know, look, there was not something you should have done. You know, you should have gone this place, or you should have been nice to O'Neill. In the unlikely case, it doesn't happen. When I want to sleep well with myself, I want to know, look, there was not something you should have done. You know, you should have gone this place. People, I'm confident. But in the unlikely case that doesn't happen, O'Neill, I want to sleep well with myself. I want to know, look, there was not something you should have done. You know, you should have gone this place, or you should have been nice to O'Neill, or you should have done. I want to, in the unlikely case, it doesn't happen. When I go to bed the night the election results are now, I want to sleep well. We give it everything and then decided to go a different direction. That's the decision. So to answer your question, yes, we have, and that's why I talk about my focus, my discipline, my resilience. When I make up my mind to do something, I do what it takes. I work hard. And so it was, and by the way, win or lose, we'll be it. Win or lose, you'll be it. We're going to be like, bro. My neighbor should very feel like
so Mr. Cummings has said he's a stubborn person, he's a resilient person, and once he says he will do this, he will definitely do it. He said he was not going to be somebody else's vice presidential candidate. He stuck to his gun, no matter what negotiations and meetings were held. He said, "Yeah,
but remember,
I'm not," and he stuck to that. So that proves when he says this, he stands for that.
But remember, in some times past, he said he wasn't engaged initially as to becoming a running mate to anybody. So, and also Diamond, the issue of attack and counterattack, I think it's about time the opposition community engage the issue with civility and discuss the real issue and attacking personalities.
The leaders, as testimony said, the leaders should be the ones to call off these attacks. You cannot sit idly in the background and tell me you don't see what is being said by your supporters. Silence means consent.
Certainly.
In majority of the cases. So if you do not make any move to say, look, I'm calling on my supporters to back down, stop the name calling, and let that be out there that you did do something. Sure. But the question is, are you better off today than you were prior to this regime, being inaugurated and steering the affairs of the country? That is the question Mr. Cummings usually asks anytime he's involved in a public conversation. Now, let's go quickly to our next trending issues. So the Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service, Colonel Robert Bodi, has said, look, my people, we depend a lot on citizens in the hinterlands to protect the territorial sovereignty of our country, to help us in curbing illegal migration and the transporting of illicit substances in our country. According to the Immigration Commissioner General, there are 176 border towns that Liberia shares with Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. We share no town with the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, yeah. Out of these 176 border towns, only 46 of those are manned. The 130 plus, according to him, are hard to reach towns due to bad road connectivity. He made this startling revelation at the MICAT press briefing. Though the Commissioner General was being honest and later did some politicking there by saying, oh, we have the vehicles, we have this, we have that. Then he went on to say we have meager resources. So you say you have the vehicles and all of those things, but again, come back and say they are meager, meaning they're not enough. We all know it's an age-old problem, But again, it brings us to the reality that we have a country that is vastly unguarded. We have a country where I can just cross the border from here to another town. You know, I'm in Guinea or I'm in Cote d'Ivoire. I can transport whatever illicit substances I want to bring into the country. I can traffic in human beings, and we depend on the citizens to inform the LIS. So what if these citizens or these towns are benefiting from the illegal processes, whether it's illegal mining, our minerals are leaving our country, government not getting its own fair share of the quota in taxes or whatever royalties, whether it's illicit substances being brought into our country, whether it's the encroachment of our lands by foreigners because our law enforcement agencies cannot reach to those places, then we're living in a vastly unguarded country, especially when it comes to our border integrity. How safe are we?
And what comes to my mind, as it relates to Robert Boudet's statement, before coming to the implication, I think his statement contravenes some portion of the Constitution that says the state should provide security rather than for the citizen, rather than citizens providing security for themselves. It contravenes that part. So let's get to the implication of his statement. I think it poses a security threat to the border sovereignty of our country, because you have people entering doing things illegally that they are not supposed to do, that are not in conformity with our laws, and these are things that are causing serious problems in our country as we're battling the issue of illicit substances. How do these things enter the country? And we are getting closer to the electionary period, and you have a border 176 entry point that the LRA only has control over 46, and the banner 130 is very free.
Do your own thing.
Anybody can do anything that they want to do.
Do your own thing.
So that brings the question to mind, and it just shows that the LRS need more to do as we get closer to these people.
We need more. We need more, not just logistics, but we need more manpower. If we are going to rely on the citizens of those bordering towns, the 130 that are unmanned, they also need to have some sort of security training, so that they cannot be immigration officers, but they can detect and know at least what's happening. Because we need to empower them. People need to be empowered to be able to be more patriotic than you want them to. Because if the man is to report illegal and illicit crossing, it's not only illicit substances. I could use a border town that is unmanned to bring in legal commodities, but not to pay the duties and the custom tariffs. So government will lose. And if I'm bringing my products in illegally, though they are the legally consumable products, but I can sell them at a price because I know government has not gotten any taxes from me. I know the way to smuggle. It makes room for smuggling, whether illegal or legal goods, to be smuggled in the country. So let's listen to Colonel Robert Bode, the Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service.
6 bordering towns between Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, just along the borderline. And out of those towns, we have 46 that are considered official, and we have our men deployed there too. The remaining 130 towns, those hard to reach areas, some of those areas do not have road connectivity, and that's why we have this armed unit in the Liberian Immigration Service called the Border Patrol Unit. We also have the Marine Unit. We have boats that conduct river patrols on the St. Paul, Kavala, and Mano River. So, and I also mentioned that those hard to reach areas, we rely on the dwellers, the inhabitants, the citizens that live in those areas. We rely on them. When our border patrol officers decide to do foot patrol, they walk in there with their machine guns, and they come to a village or a town. They meet the town chief or the paramount chief. They have a round table discussion or a town hall discussion and ask them, how's the situation in your area? What are some of the strange things that you see in your environment? And these people help us. So that's how we manage to keep the border safe. We rely heavily on our Locusts, they said that some of the strange things that you see in your environment, and these people help us. So that's how we manage to keep the border safe. We rely heavily on our locusts. They serve as eyes and ears of the Liberian Immigration Service. The government provides resources to run the Liberian Immigration Service. They provide vehicles for us. Why is true, we may not have helicopter or drones or or some Cessna aircraft to conduct air patrols, but the meager resource we have. Our strength is the dedication and commitment of the officers that are deployed in those areas. So I'm saying here, as Commissioner General of the Immigration Service, any officer or group of officers found in that kind of unwholesome practice, administrative action will be taken against you. I will remove several of them, and I have 3 right now before the CSD, ongoing investigation of an American passport. Stamping the passport, seen on arrival, meaning that this person actually came physically into Liberia, and and interesting that every immigration officer that works there has a stamp with a number, and the number is signed to that person's name. So once we see a stamp in the book, we know, you issue it, and we'll weed them out, no matter what. Honor my wife, I don't care whether you're from Sando like me, or you belong to this group or the other group, as long as you break the law takes its course. Because we don't want to give travelers the impression that we are corrupt people. Because we represent the face of Liberia, because that's a major critical gateway to Liberia, where you have international travelers coming through.
All right, so that is the Commissioner General of the Liberia Immigration Service, Colonel Robert Bode, there making a very, very honest admission, that the LIS has only got manpower. They're only able to man 46 out of the 176 border crossing towns between Liberia and its neighbors, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. So you have just 46 manned. And out of the 46, if we do a thorough investigation, some of them are abandoned. Some of those officers who are stationed there have even become more than the locals. Some of them have gotten themselves embedded in trade and the rest, and they've gotten so used to those, to those posts. The people have gotten so used to them. That's why he mentioned the fact that they have officers already undergoing investigation at the CSD. They have people there, the Professional Standard Division, as well as they've been able to reprimand some officers as well. And to conclude on this, if we do not support our security apparatus in this country, the sense of security and safety will only be limited to where we can see the presence. Because one of the first rules of law enforcement is your presence. Your presence alone can instill the right thing to be done. And how you appear matters as well. When you look at most of our security officers, only those who are assigned to VIPs look presentable. If you go to the hinterlands and see the detachment, depots of either the LNP or the LIS, you feel sick to your stomach. Just get one little more horse, and then you use pin and inscribe there LIS or LNP. The presence is not even one that can instill the feeling of obedience and fear. You see officers, whether police or immigration, their uniform all tattered up, Emmanuel, all faded up. The man comes to you, you look at his appearance, and that is why many of our people don't respect our law enforcement officers.
Sure enough.
They don't. Because the man comes to you, the man looks more like a pauper. He comes to you and you're wondering like, what the other men say? And they themselves, they know that their presence doesn't even intimidate, let alone evoke compliance. They'll be begging you and all. My man, I beg you. Yeah, I beg you. Let go to the police station. Yeah, I beg you. No non-lethal, equipment on them. A man comes to effect an arrest. He only comes with his hand swinging. He doesn't even have handcuff if there is a need to. He doesn't have any other restraining equipment like pepper spray, nothing of that sort. I'm not even going to the lethal one to go to guns, because at least guns should be way out there. So law enforcement, we need to pay attention to these things.
Sure enough, and also what have come to my attention as it relates to the appearance of our officers at those border points, the issue of sophistication.
Yeah, good point.
They are not sophisticated enough to detect as to whether you are or an individual is bringing something harmful into the country. So at the end results, you will see people infiltrating our borders, coming with things, illicit things, illegal things, and that poses fears, not fear per se, that poses harm to our country, and it makes our country very vulnerable.
It is.
Makes our country very vulnerable, and the security sector is a very important and essential sector.
But if
in
we are
every
not
country.
safe, if you look at Maslow theory of needs, basic needs, safety is at the top of that pyramid. Because as you're looking for shelter, it represents security as well.
Sure
why do you
enough.
build a home? It's to protect yourself from the elements. So why do we have law enforcement agencies? It's to make us to feel safe, Emmanuel. I was going to Grand Bassa some weeks ago. You know what the immigration officer did? The man came, stood by the car, he walked around 2 times, Yogo. He didn't check the vehicle. He didn't ask the occupants any question. He didn't do anything. So I asked, I said, but your eyes are the scanner. Look at the Bow water side. Do we have a scanner there? Look at Ganta between Nimba and Guinea. Do we have a scanner there? We things that are supposed to give us money.
Sure.
We play Yankan with it. Simple thing like even having toll booth on the highways that will generate money. We play Yankan with it. We serious about those things. So if you don't even have a scanner at your major border crossing points, where you don't have to, when a helipad truck comes to the border, you tell them say you offload all the things that are inside, so we can know why you carry. So just pass around the car 2 times and say, yeah,
And
you
then-
pass.
And then whatsoever that is within that car,
You don't know.
it goes free.
Do we produce these drugs in our country? No. We produce some. But the real ones, they brought in country.
It's imported.
You got one immigration officer to one border crossing point. His uniform, everything on him, tune up. He done stay there for 5 years. He get 3 children there already. The people that can cross there, all the farmers, everybody else, everybody that crossing illegal things, they know him. They're so what's the word to use? They're so used to him. They know him that well. He becomes compromised. There is no supervisor to check on him. He's left alone at that duty post. So the man will say, where you tell the better go, like where you will eat. So you pay me 125, 175 a month, somebody crossing Sunny, and they give me $5. Which one will I take? Patriotic duty or
What a man's
enriching
hungry.
myself?
What a
You know,
man's
see,
hungry.
hungry man, lawyer. That's the question there. So we'll leave that story now to move on quickly to our next story. Remember, you can send in your text reactions to 0770-304519. We'll definitely open the phone lines, but right now we can read out your text messages. Those watching as well, you can leave your comments. We'll read out your comments as we go through the show as well. So we move over to our next trending issue. Crumbs or flesh? Crumbs or chicken? I say the bone. I say real thick chicken.
Thick chicken.
Well seasoned chicken. Which one you would take?
I would take the chicken.
No, I ask you that question again. Crumbs, bread crumbs, or even chicken, the crumbs. They season the chicken, they put the bread crumbs on there and they fry it. Somebody say, damn, yeah, I can keep up. And the crumbs and the flesh, the real chicken. Emmanuel David. Which one you take?
First question that will come to my mind, who done the better thing? I will take the chicken.
You take the chicken?
Certainly.
Okay. That is what Senator Prince Johnson, evangelist, has disclosed. You know, on Saturday, there was a meeting held in Ganta that brought together chiefs, lawmakers, and some prominent citizens of Nimba County that are currently serving governmental positions. And this meeting was to strategize and make sure the UP stroke the MDR doesn't have a stronghold in Nimba County. Senator Johnson said that meeting, the lawmakers and those important personalities who are the insiders took the chicken, the well-fattened and well-seasoned chicken, started eating it from Morovia. Then when they reached to Ganta, they get the chiefs, the elders, they get them the crumbs. According to Senator Johnson, 170,000 United States dollars was given, allegedly, according to his allegation. 170,000 United States dollars was given for that meeting to be held and to get a paper, you know, transportation and other things. But according to him, before the Ma even left from Monrovia to even reach Arakakata, it was already sweat. And then they gave $30 to the chiefs. So let's listen to him. We'll come back and discuss this. We'll give you more information about that particular meeting. Yes, there was a meeting in Ganta on Saturday, and the intent of that meeting was to gather around the forces to see how best Nimba County will not be the stronghold of Senator Johnson anymore, that these guys will make sure that the Unity Party stroke the MDR does not have any meaningful numbers in Nimba County. So this is Senator Johnson on his 170K revelation.
And you are talking about other people, they take delight in that. I must confess here, when I was collaborating with the ruling party, and once upon a time, something happened somewhere, and I stood up somewhere and I said, this person got battery. Oh, they were laughing. They were, I received many calls telling me, thank you. When I turn around and turn the same weapon around and say, this one killed this one, you see, he against us. What is not good for Paul is not good for John. Don't be like Esau, who sold his birthright for stew and bread. A few days ago, some of my kinsmen from Nimba received 170,000 United States dollars to go and mobilize the chiefs in Nimba. And they took their own first. They took their own money first. The balance, they took it to Nimba, invited all the chiefs. They cooked for them decent food, maybe salted food, maybe whatever food they cook. And after they ate the food, they gave them $30 each. $30 each US. They carried the whole carton.
So they carried the whole carton.
The whole carton.
So yes, we can confirm that meeting was held in Nimba County on Saturday. There was a stakeholders meeting. We had Representative Gompun Kagon, alias Dubai Boy, in attendance, plus other representatives as well. And those who are already serving in government positions from Nimba County in the CDC camp, they attended that meeting. And their sole intent is to rally the forces, rally the troops, you know, to make sure Nimba is not an easy ride for the UP or the MDR in Senator Kuhn, who's the running mate to former Vice President Joseph Imambwaka. But Senator Johnson, using his pulpit, didn't stop there. He said the people wanted a seat for him. Yeah, you know, he has personalized the seat.
Yeah. My seat.
As
a birthright.
Yeah, they want to take the seat for him, the seat that he was elected to. Now, if somebody can wrestle it from you through election, Senator Johnson said, no, they want to take his seat from him. This is what he had to say concerning what he termed as an insider plot that has been unraveled to him by one of his many sources. They want to take his seat from him.
We appeal to everybody to be peaceful. Those foreign nationals, including Liberian nationals, church people who all sign, who were present in the signing of the non-violent document, to speak out. Don't keep mute, church leaders. That Farmington Declaration, the communique that was signed for non-violence, must be followed. If it is not followed right now, as you see it happening, invading the church, disrupting service, taking talks to remove the Minister of Transport by force until he was asked not to go, recognizing that
a non-violent document has been signed. Yeah, you want to doing this. Then what happened to the election itself? What will happen to the election itself? The most important thing during that election would be, don't tamper with the ballot papers, the ballot box. Let the people of Liberia speak to the ballots. You out, you out. If you in, you in. That is the way to conform to the fundamental declaration. But if people are sent to start throwing ballot out because the ballot cast not in your favor, so people are just going to start throwing it out. Like I was told a few days ago from the inside circle that they will put somebody on me who is not even relevant in the country. But they will create a situation where they will mago thing, you say, according to what he said, mago thing, that will lead to the court because they want to get me out. I tell you, I believe in destiny. Whatever God destined for me is what I receive. So I don't care what.
There is a very striking similarity between evangelist PYJ and Pastor Bagugbe. You know the similarity is in their congregation. I like the way they can clap.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I just like the way they can clap. You know, when you go to Forex, the president makes any statement, you can't even answer. Clapping. Same way in PYJ. So we just do the thing and just organize clapping competition between the two congregations.
Yeah, see who wins.
And see who wins to put all the issue aside. So PYJ is saying they want to put somebody against him. They want to pit somebody against him to disturb his chances of re-election in that county. And the plot is to have him in court and be dragging his process until he might lose the case and he might lose his seat. Similar thing that happened to Brownie Samukai. Yeah, the former defense minister. So whether PYJ is crying wolf, if there's any wolf at all, or he's trying to use this to stir up his supporters, because this statement could stir up his supporters and say, look, we have to go there in our numbers and vote.
Yeah.
So our papi, the gap can be very wide for him to retain his seat, Emmanuel. So have your say on that quickly, and then we can go to just run through the rest of the stories that we have.
And the question that comes to mind, is Senator Johnson playing his scare tactics? Is he sensing some things that leading him to play some scare tactics? That's the question that's coming to my mind. Because what crash so soon? If you claim to be a godfather of Nimba politics and you have influence, you can change the ball game in a second.
Yeah, but the votes are not just sitting in one barrel, just waiting for you to. No, there are other influential sons of Nimba that have benefited from this government and are still benefiting. Like you saw the politically well-calculated move by the president recently. He appointed the former representative at the Governor's Commission. He has been appointing sons from Nimba County. These people do come with their little numbers as well. And they have their supporters that are benefiting from them. And they have their cells that are loyal to them and all of those things. So if you can take away some of the vote and you can divide and rule, that is what the CDC in President Weah is doing. Look at what he did in Grand Judea quite recently. Grand Judeans were yelling around, oh, we don't benefit in nothing, and we told you to be doing incarnation, and yeah. What the president did, he went and brought in, what's his name? Alfonso Gay, former senator, and thrown into water and sewer an already dead public corporation, and said, look, Alfonso, go there, go suffer. Yeah, go see how best you can bring out that 8 million at water and sewer OGT bank. Go see how best you can settle the salary crisis and all those things. And then with that, it's an appeasement. Then Alfonso can go to, remember Alfonso decided not to run. Whether he saw that he wasn't going to win or he felt it was a time to leave, then he can go back to his people, his loyal supporters, and say, look, I'm here now, water and sewer. We're trying to work on things to improve things in the country. So we need to re-elect the man. Politics, number one, is security.
That's what I'm saying.
So that is what he's. So PYJ probably he feels like a lot is shifting on his feet.
Certainly,
yeah,
certainly. So now he's trying to crowd so soon, and besides, with all those influential people, Prince Johnson says claims to be the most influential individual in Nimba. So what I think in my mind, as it relates to some of his development works and some of his work that some of his gain he has been making in Nimba County, that just speaks for him. That just speaks for him.
Okay.
Instead of doing an early minute crowd, we are not at the stoppage time.
Yeah, but he's got the right to, if he's got the
Yes,
information,
certainly.
he's got the right to come and say what is authenticated.
And
or not.
besides,
Yeah.
besides, his statement, as it relates to the crumbs and the chicken, is a way of giving the chiefs and those stakeholders in Nimba County a sense of understanding of the unfolding.
Okay. All right, folks. So quickly, the RIA road, the first test. So the RIA road is getting its first test of asphalt pavement.
Yeah.
Since the road construction works began, with a lot of controversies that were intertwined in that as well. So according to the Ministry of Public Works, Lot 2. So we'll give you the information from the Ministry of Public Works. Lot 2 of the RIA road, the asphalt pavement has begun on that particular stretch of the road. So let's just tell you where Lot 2 covers or along the RIA stretch. So it's from ERWA Junction to Tower Hill there. So you should expect to see that quota, if you don't call it quota, or asphalt pavement work has begun on the RIA road. So that started on during the weekend, and Lot 2 spans from ERWA Junction up to not Tower but Disco Hill. Disco Hill in Margibi County. So the pavement is currently being done along the RIA road. So you see it moving from ERWA Junction towards the SKD Sports Complex and thereabout going on. So somebody said that flashing the government wants to do to say, hey, you see, yeah, we told you we can deliver the road. We are here delivering the road.
Barrow medicine.
Yeah, Barrow medicine is working. Yeah, turning Liberia into Miami. Yeah. So still with road, let me just show the pictures quickly. People want to see the pictures. So this is pictorials there.
Okay.
So this is right around the stadium area. So if you know Liberia well, if you come down from the ERWA Junction to where the guy stores, this is where usually they had the Buchanan parking around there, not far from China Mall. So this is where the pavement has begun. So these are the place that is congested, it's populated, that you will see it. Yeah. So they say it's strategic enough that it's starting from the place that you can see every day. Yeah, you can see every day and say, yeah, we're doing it. So that's good news though for us as a country, whether you are sympathizer of the CDC or not. This road is needed. So also on road, the Ganta to Saninkole road, according to the Ministry of Public Works, is only left dedication. 98% of the road is done. So it only needs dedication. You see again. So the president has strategically been working in Nimba. Strategically working in Nimba, Lofa.
Every month around here.
Yeah. Those counties that were not so much in his favor and might have people who would not be, like Senator Johnson, he needed to give deliverables and things to point to. So the Ganta to Saninkole road, this is just a pictorial of the road. As you can see, according to the Ministry of Public Works, it's 98% completed, and it will be dedicated soon.
Yes.
It will be dedicated soon. So there you have it. Emmanuel will just run us through the local dailies and international stories as well, and then we'll cut across Liberia to speak to our county correspondents and take your calls. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM, also live on Super 95.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. I'm here today. I'm here with Emmanuel David as well. He's going to run us through the headlines of some of the local dailies plus international stories, and we'll take S&W on sports.
Yeah.
And we cut across Liberia to speak to our county correspondents as well. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
All right. We have the Data Observer newspaper. We have the Front Page Africa newspaper, and we have the New Dawn newspaper. These are three papers that we have, and we're going to run you through the headlines and give you a sense of understanding what is making news in the print media. And the Data Observer newspaper, today is June 5, 2023, and this story on the Data Observer newspaper reads, no need to panic over St. Johnson Bridge crack. I'm seeing the picture of Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins right here. And let's get to another story right here on this paper. It says Supreme Court subject lawyer to prompt. If you want to get more of that story, you have to get the Data Observer newspaper. All right, let's go further. How did Senator Coon's private hospital get in national budget? I'm seeing the picture of Senator Coon, Rescue 2. Calando lawyers quite over Kid fake tax clearance saga. I'm seeing the picture of businessman George Bobby Calando. And let's get to the The front page Africa newspaper, US-based Liberian student groundbreaking research paper highlights journalistic union crucial roles at landmark conference. NEMOT trains 150 first-time voters, women, and peace builder conflict resolution in River G, Maryland counties. And another story on the front page Africa newspaper reads, fishing communities still threatened by unaccepted fishing practices. International basketball star Thomas Davis Roblet ends 2-day basketball camp for young basketball stars in Liberia. So let's get to the New Dawn newspaper, which is going to be our last stop on the local scene. And then we're going to get to the international scene as well on the program, today's show. Nimbats should decide on president or VP. I'm seeing the picture of elders. I think that is in relation to what we just
the elders that PYJ said they were giving 30-30, eh?
Yeah.
470K, the elders were giving 30-30 according to PYJ. Yeah.
All right, house to prop Asalamenta Liberia. If you want to get more of that story, you have to get the New Dawn newspaper. APN Terminal Liberia commits more investment to the education sector. And another story here on the New Dawn newspaper, which is our last. I don't sell human part.
Now who's saying that one again? Jeremiah Kun, eh?
Yeah. And let's get to this story on the
I
BBC
hope not
page.
human pass celebrated that guy brother Juve on Sierra Leone. Yeah.
I don't know either.
Like, probably heard the story like, oh yeah.
I don't know either.
So the man said that let them market like bro booming because if a man who allegedly sells human pass as a senator and making good money, then let me see if I can sell my market on that side. But anyways, he has said he doesn't sell human parts. He has been responding to that since that allegation was made.
Still making clarity.
Yeah, Liberia is a gullible society, though.
Yeah, the gullibility of our society, for
so you need to be making clarity.
You know, on the BBC, that's the let's get this one, Asha Jura. Right. So the Organization of Petroleum Export Countries,
OPEC.
Yeah, OPEC oil price rise as Saudi Arabia pledges upward cut. And I take a few lines of this story, and just to give you a sense of understanding, this is our Leon international story. Oil producing countries have agreed to continue cuts in production in a bid to share up flocking prices. Saudi Arabia said it would make cuts of 1 million barrels per day in July, and OPEC said targets will drop by a further 1.4 million per barrel a day in 2024.
Okay.
And the reason for the cut is formulation, which refers to the Organization of Petroleum Export Countries and its ally, that's Russia, had already agreed to cut production by 2 million per barrel a day, about 2% of global demands. The result of the decision was the extension of the deals until the end of 2024.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. So, folks, once again, this is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. Also live on Super 95.5, and we on Spoon TV, our Facebook TV page as well. We now cross over to sports and entertainment quickly. We now bring on Shannon Gue, alias DJ SNW, to bring us up to speed with the latest in the world of sports and entertainment. So Shannon is on the line. Good morning to you, Shannon. How are you doing?
Well, good morning to you, Damo, and I'd like to say good morning to Emmanuel David, along with our audience.
Okay. Quickly, Shannon, bring us up to speed. What's happening in the world of sports and entertainment, sir?
Okay, so quickly, in the Passion of Life Sports, 30 persons have received certificates of participation from a 3-day regional beginners reverend course conducted by the Liberia Football Association, LFA, in Harper, Maryland County. LFA Reverend Manager Stanley Kona facilitated a course from the 30th of May to the 1st of June. According to the LFA, the course objective is to increase the number of young people in Reverend from the sub-association or the subcommittee, and to have a uniform interpretation of the laws of the game.
As the Liberia Football Association LFA National Third Division Playoff round of 16 climaxed during the weekend, 8 teams have progressed to the quarterfinals. Moserado's Pepe FC, Martin Enforcers, Philadelphia Lone Star, Broadway United, Gompa FC, Bolugisi FC, New Horizon, and Discourage SA were the victors in the Big 8. Meanwhile, the quarterfinal stage of the National Third Division Playoff is expected to kick off on the 6th of June at the ATS in Monrovia. According to the draw, Game 1 will see Low Fires Bolugisi FC meeting Gompa FC of Nimba County at 1 p.m. While Philadelphia Lone Star of Moserado will go face-to-face with Magibi's New Horizon FC in Game 2 at 3 p.m. On the other hand, Martin Enforcers of Nimba County will battle Pepe FC of Moserado County at 5 p.m., while Broadway United will facing Discourage AS of Moserado County in the day's last action at 7 p.m. And quickly, stay with the Passion of Life Sports. The Leon Stars of Sierra Leone will host the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the Sambia County Sports Complex in Monrovia on Sunday, the 18th of June. The 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifying tie will be played at a neutral venue following the failure of Sierra Leone Football Federation to present a suitable stadium in the country. Super Eagles top Group A of the qualifiers with 9 points and need just a point from the game to secure space in Africa's 2023, while Lone Star occupied third position in the group with 5 points and need a win to keep their qualification hopes alive. And finally, in the Passion of Life Sports, Manchester City won the FA Cup just a few days to the UEFA Champions League final, Damo, and I think that victory or that success, Manchester City's second success so far this season, have placed them in a position that they can pull the trigger against Inter Milan come Saturday in the UEFA Champions League Grand Final.
Okay, Shana. So the Pepe FC, they can wear Pepe along their jersey, or when they go on the field, they can be chewing Pepe. Because I've heard this team, I've been interested in knowing. I know they wear red, predominantly as their script. They can get Pepe on the field.
Not all, but their logo is actually their logo has Pepe on it. But I think the essence of the name Pepe FC is just like
Pepe, yeah.
We are strong. We can bring you at any time we want to. We can defeat you at any time we want to. I think it's just a slogan.
All right. What about our boys from River Says now? Powerful Heavy. Have they gone back? I know they came to town. They were giving 20-0. By discoveries. Different excuses. Some said the players were writing their national exam. Others said they were not used to the page. But they gone back now, or they stay around, doing something.
Yes, most of the teams that lost during the preliminary stage or that dropped during the preliminary stage, they are present on their way because some of them, they are actually students. But I think the boys from Grand Basel, that actually a very poor excuse. We've been following them very closely. They gave another excuse that some of their players were actually renting the WAS, but it is impossible to be renting WAS in Grand Basel and you in Moserado here. So I don't know as to whether they're playing the youth because they actually played in the morning by 11. So and the WAS plan mass the same Friday 11. So how was it possible to be on the field the same time just few seconds after the WAS for the day? So
all right.
I think it was actually a poor excuse and they were defeated and hoping to come back into the playoff with more energy.
Thank you, Shana. Thank you there for bringing us up to speed in the world of sports. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Dami.
Shana Goe, there, DJ SNW, bringing us up to speed with sports. We now cut across Liberia quickly to speak to our county correspondents, beginning with Bopolu County, where Solomon Tibla is our man in that county. Solomon is going to tell us the latest there from Bopolu. And we'll also cross over to Bong County, where Kongwek Bakokoli is. We'll go to Maryland County as well, where Christian Arpiton is. We'll go to Grand Cape Mount and Bomi. But let's go to Bopolu County first. While we get in Tibla on the line, Man City has as Shano said, Emmanuel is on course to completing the historic treble to win the Premier League, the FA Cup, and subsequently the UEFA Champions League. They've done 2 out of the 3. They've won the Premier League and the FA Cup, and now they will be facing Inter Milan on Saturday to see who walks away with the prize of the UEFA Champions League, being crowned champions.
Their marks this season has speak for long, and they deserve whatsoever that they need. So it's a boost for them.
All right, let's cut over quickly to Bopolu County. Good morning, Solomon. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Slanger. Good morning to our many listeners in Radio Lane.
Yeah. We heard from your lead that people are fleeing some towns in some part of Bopolu. Why are they fleeing their homes, Solomon?
Damon, the issue about caterpillars are really troubling the people of Bopolu County. We have 2 districts currently being affected. Everywhere you find a Daoman tree, you don't have to even fasting around those places because we have this district called Ginwalala district. Almost 6 towns got affected. People are now going on their various farms, and people are really afraid because even if you have a Daoman tree that is really is situated right by the roadside, you will not be able to pass by that place because those caterpillars are really invading those places. And even at another district, in Bopolu called Bella district, the similar incidents is also currently ongoing. The caterpillars are really invading those places, and people, the citizens there, are calling on the government to move in, especially for the Ministry of Agriculture and that of Ministry of Health, to help them in the process.
Now, these caterpillars, it's just that the infestation is in a very large number that's making people to flee and eating their products or their crops, or is it that they're poisonous as well?
Damo, the caterpillars we are talking about are personal because even if you were unlucky to have or get among those caterpillars, definitely you will have sleepless night for almost 2-3 days because there was a victim who was taken to one of the health facilities in Payekwele, and currently as we speak, that person is still being hospitalized at that particular clinic. So the caterpillar this is the first time ever because many a times people will experience such caterpillar, but this one that is currently invading those citizens and residents of those places are different kind. They have not seen them before, according to people that we spoke with.
Now, my last question to you quickly on this, and I'll bring Emmanuel in. What have been done by the government authorities? I heard that they're calling on the Ministry of Agriculture. There is an extension division there. The Ministry of Agriculture, we have the FDA, we have the Ministry of Health. Those relevant government authorities, have you seen them do anything since this infestation or invasion began?
Since the citizens have been experiencing those caterpillars in their areas, they have been calling on government to move in, and since we've been flagging those issues, letting the people know, those ministries that are responsible, to let them to know nobody are moving according to information we have gathered from those residents in the areas.
Okay, Emmanuel, quickly one question.
So my question has to do with the numbers of people that we are talking about who have left their homes.
Yes, Solomon. He wants to know approximately what's the number of those residents that are fleeing their homes and where are they going to?
No, Damo, they are not fleeing their homes. They are not fleeing their homes, but they don't have the time to go on their various farms.
Okay,
and even to move about to other towns and villages because those caterpillars, as I said earlier, if you have a Daoman tree by the roadside, you won't be able to cross that particular area. And even if you have it on your farm road, you won't be able to go on your farm. So people are not going on their farm. Now that they are fleeing their homes.
Okay.
They are in their homes, but they don't have the opportunity to go on their various farms and also move about freely.
Okay, so for that, they've abandoned their farms and they're now moving freely as well.
Sure.
Any other story from Bopolu quickly? 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, Damo, you as you may be aware, Bopolu had the county sitting yesterday was concluded. And there
Finally?
were so many. Finally.
Since 2021?
finally were concluded. But the frustrating part about the sitting, even though it was concluded, two of the senators, the two senators from Bopolu County, refused deliberately. I will use that word deliberately. Refused to sign the resolution.
What was entailed in the resolution? And those senators we're talking about, Senator Boto Kane and Senator Daniel Nathan, right?
Yeah.
Were they in county? Did they attend the sitting? And if so, what reasons did they give for not signing on to the resolution?
Both of them were in county. They entered the very first day of arrival, and they were in the county. But the first day, because of majority of the caucus members were not in the county, so the county sitting was postponed to yesterday. And yesterday, all of the legislative caucus members of Bopolu County were in attendance. And even from the beginning of the yesterday's sitting, there was serious contention between those delegates who were represented in the hall and the female senator of Bopolu County, Senator Boto Kane, who even went ahead using profane languages on those who were in the hall. So citizens really wanted to resist to attack her, but due to the presence of the joint security in the hall, things were calmed down. But at the end, she walked out of the house and she was not seen until the end of the sitting. She and the other Senator Daniel Nathan, both of them left the house, and only the three representatives of Bopolu County were able to sign that document, the resolution that was prepared yesterday.
Okay. All right, Solomon. Emmanuel, any question? Okay. So, Solomon, thank you so much for updating us there from Bopolu County. We hope that the requisite authorities, I know they're listening, and they will institute the right measures to at least help to reduce, if not get rid of, the caterpillar infestation that is currently engulfing some parts of Bopolu County. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right. So Solomon Tibla is our man there in Bopolu County. We'll cross over quickly to Bong County, where Kongwe Bokokoli is our man there in Bong County. Once we get Kongwe on the line, he's going to tell us the latest there from Bong, and we'll go to Bomi, subsequently Cape Mount and Nimba, as well as Grand Cape Mount County. So let's see if we can get Kongwe on the line. Good morning, Kongwe. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, Diamond, and good morning to our many listeners there in Morovia.
I've missed this voice. Yeah, I know that I'm a Kongwe on the line. So what's happening in Bong County, sir? Digging deep. What's happening there in Bong County?
Well, the latest report is from Zota, huge portion of Zota district. Though we get this one from District 3 as well. Again, caterpillar outbreak is being reported in some parts of Zota district.
Caterpillar outbreak. We heard similar story from Bopolu County. Tell us, you want to describe the caterpillar that is said to be invading Zota district as well, and what is it causing those people there from that particular part of Bong, and what's been done as well, Kongwe?
Well, like we've been reporting that 2020 we reported on this situation, and 2009 similar situation happened in the same Zota. 2016 the same thing. So this time around, I mean that's the similar situation right now. People of Zota are experiencing the caterpillars. They are small in size, and they move in huge number. So what they do usually when they are moving together, wheresoever they are, if you have water where people usually use, they will have that water contaminated. You see the water very black, and people who got farms around those areas, crops that are planted, I mean, those crops are affected because all of the leaves will be eaten by the caterpillars. So you see, people will not go on farm as usual because if you are going to farm, you have to pass in the forest, and those things that will come in huge number on the trees and the next on the roads, and when the people are moving, you see those caterpillars dropping on them. and they reported that when they dropped on them, you will see mark will remain on their skin. So sometimes they were walking on their respective farms. So the situation is serious. I mean, it has disrupted so many farming activities. People are afraid to go on their respective farms. Before you go on your farm, you need to carry your own, drinking water from the pump, because once you leave from the main town to go in the boot, you have to use the water in the boot. But those waters are like contaminated by the caterpillars. So people like leaving from the farm, you have to get water from the main town in Jalo, take care of your farm. So the people are saying they are no longer growing their respective farms because of the caterpillars invasion.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so my concern is what is the response from the authority if approached?
Well, I tried calling the county health team officer, Dr. Cindy Blackwood, this morning, and she's yet to pick up my call. I also sent her a text. Whether she's aware of the situation, but the people have been raising this issue on the radio, and they are yet to comment on that publicly, like to come on the radio and report the situation that, caterpillar outbreak is confirmed in Zota or in District 3. Even the Ministry of Agriculture, carry here, they are yet to actually, respond to the situation.
Okay. Congo, any other news from Bong County you want to share with us quickly, sir?
Well, politically, it is getting heated in Bong.
How heated? How heated?
For the CDC and the opposition unity party. So it is becoming like Joel and Senator Prince coming with him. So you see more supporters of Senator Prince Moy that will appear on the radio and defend, Ambassador Joseph Numa Buckeye. And the vice president is in the country almost every time. Every weekend she's here. Yeah. People are concerned.
She just come in there far.
She's come here for the past, like from the time they were elected, the time, they've been in power. She's not like active in the country, but this time around, she's active like the District 2 election, where she was supporting one Melvin Savage. She was again here, repeated it. So for the 2023 election, she's again here every time in case you people to have their party elected for the second time.
Okay. All right, Congress. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with the latest there in Bong County. I appreciate you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
So Congress Bokokoli reporting live from Bong County. Let's now cross over quickly to Bomi County to bring on our Bomi County correspondent. Aaron Comey is posted for us there in Bomi. We'll see if we can get Aaron on the line quickly to bring us up to speed with the latest from Bomi. We'll go to Maryland County, where Christian Appiton is, and in Nimba, where Christopher Fan is our man there in Nimba, and Christopher is definitely on the standby. Let's see if we have gotten Aaron on the line. Good morning, Mr. Comey. How are you doing this morning? Okay, so we lost Aaron there. Let me try reconnecting with Aaron quickly. If we do not get Aaron on the line, we'll cross over to Maryland County, where Christian Appiton is standing by for us. So you've gotten the news so far from Bomi. That's Bong and Bopolu, Emmanuel.
Bopolu County.
Yeah.
Caterpillar
invasion, infestation. We need the requisite authorities. Aaron, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning.
It's a pleasure having you on. How is Bomi County? It raining there?
No. The weather is okay here this morning.
Oh.
Okay. The atmosphere is very, very peaceful.
All right. Run us through quickly. What's the latest news you've got for us from Bomi, sir?
Okay. Case involving a guy from Mano Plantation who murdered a poor man called Bopolu for $50 Liberian.
Is it the man kid the woman, the old man for $50 Liberian?
There are two fellows. The old man name is Lapun Odi.
Okay.
Yeah, Lapun Odi.
So he was murdered for $50 Liberian dollar. Liberian dollar.
By whom? Who committed the act? Who allegedly committed the act?
By one side Momo.
So Sam Momo allegedly murdered Mr. Colley for $50 Liberian. How did that happen?
Okay, like he said, according to him, the old man asked him to do a work for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the man gave him the amount of 200 Liberian dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire money should be 250 Liberian dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first payment, he did the work, but the $50 was not given. So he said he needed the money at the time.
Mm.
And he rushed on the farm, at the old man home, and he never met the old man. And he started that the old man went on his farm to do some agricultural work. So he followed the old man. But the mood that citizens saw him in, they knew that he was angry. And he said, go on the farm. If the old man can get your money today or that day or that, it will be different between the both of them. Unfortunately, when he went on the farm, he met the old man there, asked the old man for the money. And he said, the old man said, but I told you that I owe you $50. Why can't I own my farm for $50? He said, but the money ain't too much now. The money stay low with you. The old man said, but when you did the work, according to your own explanation, because the killing was done in the bush, and when he came in the farm, they arrested him. He reported himself. He reported himself after the investigation. Now he explained to the people that the old man kept telling him that you have to hold on. Let me get the money. If I'm doing my work, waiting the evening hour, while the conversation between the both of them, he rushed on the old man and then choke him. He said, I'll tell you, that if you that business, I will do something to you. And he instantly killed the old man with a coin. Yeah.
So you said the jurors have come down with a verdict in this particular case?
Indeed.
And what was the verdict?
Well, the judge charged him for murder, and then the juror at the 11th Judicial Faculty Court, after they went through their their court, and it came out with a verdict that the man will be sentenced for a lifetime in imprisonment.
So he was sentenced to lifetime imprisonment for
yes.
killing somebody for $50 Liberian.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other story from Bomi quickly?
No, anything. I'll get that tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for bringing us up to speed.
Thank you so much.
So Aaron Kwame is our man there in Bomi County. We already do have our guest seated, but let's cross quickly to Maryland County, where Christian Appiton is our man in Maryland. Once we can get Christian on the line, he's going to bring us up to speed with the latest from Maryland County. Let's see if we can get Christian on the line. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. I'm co-hosted along with Emmanuel David. Emmanuel David is my co-host. So let's see if we can get Christian Appiton on the line. We're not getting Christian Appiton on the line. So let's cross over to Nimba quickly and bring Christopher Fan, who is our man in Nimba County, to bring us up to speed with the latest coming out of Nimba. We allot 5 minutes to get your calls quickly on the first segment of the show. Once we've spoken to Christopher Fan, and once we get back, we'll take our guest, Mr. Jalo, who is a Montserrado County senatorial aspirant, and we'll be talking a lot with him this morning on the show. But let's see if we can get Christopher Fan from Nimba County on the line to speak with us. So just a recap quickly. Okay, we've got Christopher Fan on the line. Good morning, Mr. Fan. How are you this morning? Okay, I think we've not been able to get Chris. Let me try an alternative number of his to see if we can get him on the line quickly to let us know what's happening there in Nimba County. Let's see if we can get Christopher on the line. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're also live on Super 95.5 and on Spoon TV, our Facebook TV page. We had on the show the Chief of Public Safety of the Liberia National Police earlier on, giving us safety tips, road regulations as well. We also did speak to our correspondents from Bomi, Bopolu, and Bong County. Let's see if we can get what's his name, Christopher Fan on the line. We've not been able to get Christian Appiton from Maryland. Probably it's due to network connectivity issues. But let's try one more time. They say once you don't succeed, you try again. So let's try again and see if we can get Mr. Appleton from Maryland to let us know. Good morning, Christian. How are you doing this morning?
Yes, I'm doing pretty well this morning. This morning most especially, I'm doing, good by the grace of God.
How is Maryland? Is it raining or is sunny there? In the southeastern part of Liberia. How is Maryland?
It's totally wet in Maryland County. Definitely wet in this county.
All right. So what's the latest from Maryland quickly, sir? Bring us up to speed with the latest news there from Maryland.
Yes, I'll join you from the political terrain of the county. That is Harper, the Palmers, where we have, the original Palmers are being cooked here. So quickly, in Cleveland, Central Maryland County, a 4-year-old boy went missing on May 21, 2023, in Zone 7C after the heavy downpour of rain, on Sunday afternoon. And of course, the parents of little Anthony Wisher, who gone missing, disclosed that since Sunday, they are still searching for the child. And of course, this child,
what's the name of the child again? Anthony Stevens?
Anthony Wisher.
Okay, Anthony Wisher. Yeah, go ahead.
4-year-old boy.
Okay.
His name is Anthony Wisher. And of course, his mother is now writing the wives. She's attending one of the public schools in Plebo, the political terrain. She's now writing the wives. So it's in the record, through our investigation, we discover or we establish that this little boy was with his mother that Sunday, it was raining. And of course, out of the sudden, this little child just disappeared according to the report we gathered. We gathered the report that he was in his room with his mother and his mother was sleeping. And just like that, he disappeared. So up to now, parents, sympathizers are now in search. The police, even we were able to interview the community chairman, and he said since then they were all involved. They have been told by the parents, but we get a report, insiders are giving us, a hint that some relatives of the little boy went behind, went to a funnel, they went to a soothsayer, to funnel as it relates to establish the cause, of the disappearance of this little boy. So according to what we have gathered, according to what we are hearing, what we have, established, the report from the soothsayer says the grandmother is responsible, allegedly responsible for the disappearance of this little boy.
So the soothsayer say that the grandma,
is responsible. So it's like the community people and other people are like shocked, are like confused.
So what the grandma too saying according to the allegation? What the grandma saying the soothsayer has accused her?
The grandma denied the allegations continuously because we carry the microphone to her. I have several other colleagues who will all do the investigation. She denied the allegations. She continued, to deny the allegations. So that's the situation. But the police is in charge. We've been told because we saw the Liberia National Police representative from there, on the scene, and we have been following closely. We have been following. But the residents of Maryland County now are in fear because, Maryland County, we have records on mysterious disappearances around here. So residents of the entire county, are shocked, are confused, are, in fear.
Okay. All right, Peton. Any other thing you want to share with us quickly before we let you go?
Yeah, before you let me go, it can be recalled. An accident occurred between Plebo and Harper. That is Weir Village, a village between Plebo and Harper. And that accident claimed the lives of at least three people, instantly. And one was the motorcyclist, and of course his body was the only body that you could identify that was not really spoiled. But the other two, Mr. Kulman Sibley and Mr. Solo Sibley, and Mr. Kulman Sibley is a blind man. He's visually impaired, but he was very intellectual. He represented the entire Kalu district in the county council sitting, just in the county council sitting. Very intellectual. He always used to partake on radio shows. You know, he was involved into that accident, and his body got. I'm telling you, it was on Friday, Saturday morning when we got there. Before we reached there, the chief was like throwing the other parts of his body, the bones, away. Yeah, could you imagine?
So the accident happened on Friday.
Yes, this accident happened on Friday.
And they claimed the lives of 3 persons.
At least 3 people.
Was it a motorcycle collision or a motorcycle and a truck or another vehicle?
Involving a 10-tire truck, coastal truck, carrying normally carries goods for Lebanese business people in Cleveland, because Cleveland is the commercial hub, you know, of the county. So this we have several coastal, trucks, 10-tire trucks. Imagine the tire, the truck, lose control and went on the other side, on the opposite side. The tire left from under it, and then hit a mud house along the road. Imagine this tire, the tire hit, the tire went straight on the mud house, and a lady was in there lying down, and of course the entire mud, the outside of the mud fell on the woman, so it was very tragic. The entire county, Maryland County, is mourning the death of of the 3, and it's so sad.
Okay, tragic news there. Thank you so much, Christian Appeton, for bringing us up to speed with the latest there in Maryland County.
Many thanks for having Maryland County on the platform.
All right.
We are open any other time.
All right.
We'll cover every necessary development.
So Maryland County will definitely be featured on the show. Let's see if we can get Christopher Fan again. We're trying one more time. If we do not get Christopher Fan on the line, we'll have to take calls quickly. Our first batch of callers for at least 5 minutes, and then we take on our guest, Mr. Cheno Jalo. He's already here. We've been cutting across Liberia, speaking to our county correspondents as well. We've been to Maryland, Bomi, Bong, and Bopolu. Let's now go to Nimba County. Good morning to you, Christopher Fan. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Damo, and good morning to Emmanuel this morning, and good morning to our many viewers in and around Liberia.
It's a pleasure having you on. Quickly, Chris, we already pressed for time. Not that it's your fault, though. What's the latest coming out of Nimba? Senator Johnson has accused lawmakers and those who held the stakeholders meeting on Saturday of receiving $170,000 United States dollars to stage that meeting, and only gave the chiefs each $30 USD out of $170,000. Bring us up to speed with the latest there from your county.
Well, so thank you so much. On Saturday, the group converged in Ganta, comprises of the chief and elders across Nimba, along with the county administration, to have a stakeholder meeting for the pending campaign endorsement that will be held on the 24th of this month by the Nimba for a team in Nimba. And so they converted, but according to some of the chiefs, they said they received their stipend and they were happy to going back, and some were also disenchanted. And because some said they came from surrounding places like Ganta and other things, so they only received 30 USD. But we don't know how much was the total budget, and it was not disclosed to the media. And so against this background, Dopo Mekazo, who is one of the general, took the airway and said Senator Johnson is one of the presidents that is betraying. He's a betrayer, and the opposition community shouldn't confide in him, and because he will do all he can to destroy the image of Nimba. He also described Senator Johnson as one of the big rock that is covering the floor. And so when the rock is removed, all of those floor have the freedom to go above their doing their different things. So this is how he describes Senator Johnson. So against this backdrop,
so you say that people are just stopping Nimba development, Jalo rock just stopping everything.
Yes, so
Okay.
people actually stopping Nimba development can only go and receive all of those money. And some of those example that he said the 50K that he received from Alexander Kumi, and then turn around and buy Mox Alexander Kumi and so on. And so Double Mekazon says that the opposition shouldn't take Senator Johnson business serious.
Chris, just a quick question quickly. How much is it from Campley to Ganta?
Campley to Ganta is $1,200.
Oh, but the Papi then got profit. When you take one G2 from the 30, at least on change.
Yeah. Certainly. So 1,002. For example, Secretary from Ganta to Secretary is about $500 on motorbike.
Okay.
So if you take it from maybe the $30 or the
you still get change.
They still get change.
Yeah, still get change. And what's the next story quickly from you there from Nimba?
Yeah, the next story is that the China Railroad construction company that is building the road from Sakripi to Tapeta, one of the vehicle got stolen by one of the heavy duty truck driver named the Prince Scott Day. It happened on Wednesday of last week, where Prince Day came to a working site. He parked his tango because he driving one of the water tango. He parked his tango and then went to a close friend and asked him and said, "Oh, my man, can you kindly help me with your pickup key? I left my phone at the house, so I can quickly go and get it." So the guy trusted him and gave him the pickup key. And as we speak, since he carried the pickup, he has not been seen.
But why the main fine phone you?
Yeah, so the man have not been seen, and the case was reported to the Liberia National Police, and the guy in question is commonly known name we know in Nimba is AB. So AB is currently being bar and going on an investigation while they are in search of Prince Car Day.
So AB is the original driver of the pickup truck that was stolen.
Yeah,
and Prince D decided to use the pickup to go look for a phone.
Yeah, to go check for a phone.
Maybe they may find a phone, yeah. The essence of taking the pickup out to go find a phone.
Prince have not found a phone, and Prince, the car in question, the cars, according to information, he has crossed to the Avremsa. So that's the latest information we gathered this morning.
All right, so we've got the news that the Ganta to Saninkole Road is 98% completed and might just be dedicated on the 19th of June when the president is in Campley. What have you heard concerning that road project and its level of completion?
Yes, certainly. I drove on the road day before. Yesterday when we carried our man Joseph one way in Sanikole. So the road is 98% completed. So one of those some of those things that they are doing is that they are putting the line in between, and they are also putting the road guard as that iron stuff they can put along the road. They are also putting it there. So information we gather is that the road will soon be dedicated to the public as soon as possible.
Yeah, are you hearing anything that when the president is in county on the 19th of June, the road might just be dedicated?
Yes. According to the county inspector, he said that all of those are in the Puebla, but he did not directly say, but he only say in the joking manner that even the road from Sanikore to Ganta will be dedicated when the president is here, but it has not been disclosed actually to the press.
Okay. All right, Chris. Thank you so much. And thank God Joseph Wongbe is doing much better. It's good to know as well. Joseph Wongbe, a very dedicated journalist as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy to be back.
All right. So as he said, he's happy to be back. We're happy to be back. Mr. Chanan Jalo is already here. He's happy to be here. We take a short break. To be right back. We'll take your calls. Once we get back, we'll take the first batch of calls quickly, and then we'll get in a conversation with Mr. Chanan Jalo. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. My name is Diamond Slanger. Emmanuel David is here, and we have our guest in studio. We'll be back right after this commercial break from our sponsors. We'll be back to bring you more of this show.
I come from nothing, enter many things, but this thing they happen.
But well, Lopu, what are you doing your business and grow so quickly? From wheelbarrow to the table, now you get horse too. I hope you know.
What waiting? That's just simple. Oya microcredit changed my life, my dear. I just had to call them on 0778 555 444. 0888 555 444. And they gave my first loan quick.
Me, I know that the Oma Lendi now, put in the wholesale, in the intra umpa, I know it. Have a get a cement bed.
Like what I say you better for Oya microcredit loan, you just need any of your national ID card. You don't need any initial deposit. You don't need collateral. You don't need susu. You don't need account opening. You don't need savings. And the interest is very low if you want money to grow your business as fast as possible.
But on my way now to the office.
But you don't need to go anywhere. Just call Oya on 0778 555 444 or 0888 555 444. When you come and just give me small thing to tell me thank you.
For the best in quick microcredit to grow and expand your business, look no further. Call Oya Microcredit on 0778 555 444 or 0888 555 444. We do not give loans over the internet. Oya Microcredit, lending made simple.
No matter the matter, I'll be rich today.
Saturday boy, what's up?
Hey, Drew, I grew up.
Saturday boy, you know where they can sell scratch card around here? I was just on the phone with my Oma and did my credit fitting, and I can't even find anybody selling scratch card around here.
You said what? Scratch card? So fine, girl, are you still scratching with your fine fingernails? My girl, you rather sleeping, yo. You not know you can buy credit and did I run the Tip Me app?
I have the Tip Me Apple, but I don't know how to buy credit.
My girl, listen. Just tap on services at the bottom of the dashboard, then tap on mobile recharge, select your country, Liberia, because I Liberia we in. Enter your phone number, then tap verify to display orange or Lone Star, depending on which one you're subscribing with. Then tap browse plan, select the amount you want to put in, enter your PIN, boom, you finish. You can buy airtime and data just like that.
Boy, easy oh. Now all there.
No, ma, wait, that's not all. This is the juicy part. The tipping people say on your Tip Me app, recharge any amount of airtime, whether that Lone Star or that Orange, you stand a chance to win free airtime every week from now to the end of this year. Last week, my sister won airtime and she just called it all over the place.
Thank you for telling me, yeah. From now on, I'll be buying all my airtime and data through the Tip Me app, so my calling and browsing can finish.
Just make it phone tip me. Okay, let me tell you what tip me now.
Okay, folks, welcome back. This is the Today Show on Spoon 107.5 FM. We're also live on Super 95.5 and on Spoon TV, our Facebook TV page. Let's now cross over to the phone lines and take our first batch of callers concerning all of what we've discussed and all of the reports coming from the various counties as well. 0777 771075, 0555 101075. Those are the numbers to call. As we're taking your calls, we'll also be welcoming Mr. Channel Jalo to the studio as well. We'll mix both. Good morning to you, Chief. Thank you for affording us the opportunity to have you on the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Damon, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Good to know that you're here. So you do have a very rich political profile, especially for your age and according to your biography as well. You've been with the Liberty Party. You are now currently with the PLP. You've served as vice chair in the Liberty Party in different capacities. It's good to know that you are our guest to kickstart the show this week. Now, how is the PLP? Yeah, they say there is division in the party, and you are from the PLP. So please let us know how is the PLP.
Well, let me just provide this.
Yeah.
This information, or I guess the PLP is okay, but prior to the party making such decision to join the coalition, which I respect that decision, I've already joined Team Cummings.
Okay, so you no longer part of the PLP. You now with Team Cummings, or you part of the PLP, or you affiliating with Team Cummings?
Yeah, I'm affiliating with the CPP.
So how do you balance the skill? You have somebody in the PLP. The PLP has pledged its support to the CDC, and the CDC has got a presidential candidate or an aspirant in President Weah until he's declared a candidate by the NEC. And you have the Team Cummings, the CPP, that's got Alexander Benedict Cummings running for presidential office as well. So how do you balance your loyalty then?
Well, this is the point. When Liberia is currently it is far beyond political parties. We have a national crisis in our country. I see no political party right now. I see Liberia. So my being on Team Cummings is on the basis of transforming our country. What I believe that it could be a better person in transforming Liberia. And the decision that was taken by my colleagues, in my view, that was not a good decision, but I respect their decision, to join the coalition. Everyone has their constitutional right, which I respect so dearly. So, but the decision I took on the basis of it was a cogent decision. What I think that Liberia need right now, Liberia need a transformer, a man who believe, who believe can transform our country. So the decision I was taking is far beyond political party. So it's not about which party I'm from. It is about how can we liberate Liberia from this unserious government.
So now you part of the PLP. That is what I want you to make clear. Prior to joining the PLP, you serve as Liberty Party services from district leadership to national leadership. You serve as National Vice Chairman for Operations. You serve as National Vice Chairman for Political Affairs. You serve as National Vice Chairman for Administration and National Youth Chairman. Later, National Deputy Secretary for Mobilization for the National Executive Committee.
Right.
So you've held a lot of high-profile positions in the Liberty Party. At the PLP, you serve as National Vice Chairman for Auxiliary Affairs, and you are a current member of Team Cummings. So, Mr. Jalo, how do you balance the fact that you've not fully resigned from the PLP? Are you still occupying this position as National Vice Chair for Auxiliary?
No.
Why do you think that position was taken over? Did you resign?
Well, the position of the PLP is I should not hold a position static. It is not about position. I believe the PLP.
You haven't answered the question. Were you asked to resign since you took a different stance, or the position was taken from you after you made your stance known that you don't support?
Like I said to you, the party has filled the gap. The party has new National Vice Chair for Executive Affairs. So that's
how was the gap filled? You were removed again. Your tenure expired again, or you resigned
again. I was elected in a convention. So as I said to you again, the party has a new National Vice Chair.
Was there a new election to bring on that National Vice Chair, or you were ousted out of the position, Mr. Jalo? Why are you finding it difficult to answer this particular question? Did you resign? Did your tenure expire?
That one, like I said to you, the party has working tools. Every institution has.
We agree.
Working tools.
How did you leave that position as National Vice Chair?
It is very impossible. It is not possible that I will serve. I will be holding a National Vice Chair as a position at the same time I'm a member of the Cummings.
So you that tells you, or they took
that
it from
dictates to you that I'm no more the National Vice Chair.
Mr. Jalo, just let's save the time. Did you resign, or you were ousted, booted out of that position? Or did your tenure expire? Just one of the three. One of the three would have happened. Which one happened?
I think that will be the last time I'm speaking on this issue.
Yes.
Like I said to you, I was elected in the National Convention as a National Vice Chair for Executive Affairs of the People's Liberation Party. Prior to the party making such decision to even join the coalition, because for me, I had the political experience, so I knew that the party was taking such trend. Prior to the party taking such trend, I was already on Team Cummings. So I knew that it is not possible that I will hold a position in two parties or in two teams. So for the fact that I'm projecting a presidential candidate who I'm projecting, and the party PLP has already made a commitment to another party, and they are projecting the current president, that tells you that I'm no more in such position. I think that's the answer I have to that.
Okay, so we get the information that you were fired, Mr. Jalo, and I don't know why you don't want to state whether you were fired or you resigned. The fact is you're no longer in that position. So let's establish that fact. You decide whether you want to. So before I go on to my next question, you made mention that the PLP is projecting President Weah, and you part of Team Cummings now, and you're still a member of the PLP. How do you balance the two?
Why
are you still a member of the PLP?
And I understand that you want to spend more time on this issue, and I will actually address this issue accordingly.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a grassroots.
No.
I'm a product of the Liberal Party.
Okay.
Prior to my ascendancy or my decision to join the PRP, you know, I've spent much of my time, in the Liberal Party. So the decision I took to have joined the PRP on the basis of the vision of the then standard bearer, who I believe, may his soul rest in peace, who I believe were more practical. So when Bronsky died, I needed a leader that I could see myself in. So on that basis, I joined the PRP. So the decision, being a member of the PRP at the same time, member of the Cummings, like I said, I resigned. There's record I resigned from the Liberal Party.
Okay.
That is on record. So I'm no more member of the Liberal Party, neither the AFC. Mr. Cummings reached out to me. In fact, as a matter of fact, initially, we intended to bring the PLP in the opposition of the AFC to have a coalition. But that did not work out. Unfortunately, it did not materialize. So when it did not materialize, the community saw me as one person that he could work with.
Okay.
So he reached out to me, asking me that, the only party have not made a decision. Because political party decision is not an individual decision. You have to be a block. Besides that, you have to have majority. So majority of the guys were not prepared to, to make such a decision. So Mr. Cummings reached out to me, asked me, and realistically, I saw a vision in him that, I didn't want to support the ruling party. Because for the past years, I've been hard and pull with the ruling government, the ruling party. I'm not one of those that, I'm not a fan of the CDC.
Okay.
But I have very good friends in the CDC. I respect them so much. So I knew the party were taking some strength. And again, I didn't want to go back and join I didn't want to rejoin another party.
Why?
No, I mean that's my right, So technically, I could sell a vision. You can support the vision of any political actor without joining the party. That is real.
All right.
So my reason of being a team, I think we have few on our team that are members of the two parties.
Okay.
That's a leverage given to you on the basis of your experience, on the basis of your political understanding. Not many persons will have that leverage on the table or being on a team while you're not member of the two parties.
Okay.
So I think that's a privilege and I honor that so much.
All right, Emmanuel?
Yeah, just to chip in a little, I heard you talking about Councillor Bronsky the late.
Yeah.
What are some of those characteristics that you have seen in Alexander Cummings that Bronsky had that prompted your action to support his candidacy?
The most recent one you just saw, for the fact that you have just seen a Bronsky on his ticket, that dictates to you that their similarity. Today, you and I know that Charlie Bronsky is a current running mate to Mr. Cummings. That tells you there are issues, there are a lot of things that they share in common. Meaning, it's more like, I do not follow people on the basis of the crowd, but on the basis of the vision that you have for our country, Liberia. So what I see, in Mr. Cummings, I saw in Mr. Bronsky was one is the character, the personality. That is very important. Before I support you, I must see that character, that personality in you. That is one aspect of it. Two, the vision. You see, before you can project anybody, make sure you know the vision and their mission, That is very important. So the vision, I believe, that Mr. Cummings has, is similar to Councillor Bronsky. Because where Liberia is currently, we need more like a leader who have got integrity. It's very difficult to get integrity. And if you trace the records of Mr. Cummings and looking at Bronsky as well, one of the things that you will see that you prioritize is the issue of integrity.
Okay. So
he's not more like, or he's not involved into any corrupt scandal, he's more like a leader who has more integrity. And that is all Liberia lacking. Most of our leaders have no integrity. So the integrity he preserved. Because Liberia need to preserve the values that we had in the past.
Let's diverge a bit from your support of Mr. Cummings and go to your own senatorial bid. You've got aspirations to represent Montserrat County in the Liberian Senate. Now, let's talk about your groundwork and why you think Jalo is the right choice, the right candidate for the county of Montserrat at the Senate.
Well, Diamond, let me say this to you.
Mhm.
I've been around for a very long time, and this is not something I just come to spot.
Oh, you can spot. You
No.
can stay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And if you check our records in this country, we've made leaders in this country. You just reference the role I've played in the past. I'm a product of Bromskin. Product. Every county Bromskin went in this country, I was there with him. Every county you went. As a matter of fact, every hotel you sleep, you say, channel, get here, sleep here. I'm his product. So I fear nothing. This is the point. I did not wake up one morning and just say, I want to contest.
Well, how did it happen?
I work with young people across this country. If you look at all the positions I've served, if you just reference, that dictates to you that I have the experience, I'm still on working with people. Across, not just Monserrato, but across the country. I have campaign in all the counties. In this Monserrato, I've built a man of young people in this country, especially the county. There are young people in this county, in Monserrato, that were never involved into any activities. And we brought up and we mentor. Well, not on the basis of $1 million we give them. These are people that we work with based on our records, based on the work that we've done with them in the past. People reach out to us. You saw my program, our petition by people, you saw women, you saw old mothers, you saw fathers.
Petitions could be staged managed. You know, we've seen people pay for their own petition. So is it the case of yours, or yours was done voluntarily by those who believe in a channel Jalo leadership at the Monserrato for Monserrato County as senator?
It's laughable. You know why? I'm a revolutionary.
So you didn't pay for your
I
own
do not
petition?
pretend I'm not fake. I do not pay for that. As a revolutionary, even if there's 2 persons in our program, I will honor their petition. I never do so. Anybody that knows you will tell you about me.
What does your leadership bring, if you are elected, bring to the Senate for Monserrato County that is lacking? If you look at the current senator whose seat will be up for re-election or election on October 10, Sir Joseph, he's a formidable character. He won tremendously in Monserrato County. So now, what do you bring differently, and what are the discrepancies or the shortfalls of his leadership as senator of the county that you tend to cure?
This is a new era. A new era of change. I bring transformation. I bring a bright vision. This is a partnership for real change. I would love not to mention the incumbent, because this is a man that I believe that has undermined his own government.
What do you mean that he has undermined his own government? What do you mean?
I think he won on the basis of sympathy.
Because people are calling him Ebola hero, that is sympathy you're talking about?
Well, let us leave that.
But he just said sympathy, so...
How did he got in 2018? The seat was vacant. When President Weah won the election, the seat became vacant. There's a man who was elected to lead the people of District 13. When the seat became vacant, that's a new government. Any actor of the new government that comes to power who have not served, ask or support, you will win. So he won the basis of the party. At the time, the party had just come to power.
So are you saying, Mr. Jalo, are you alluding to the fact that Senator Sir Joseph, at the time representative, rode on the CDC wave?
Yeah. Because...
And he had nothing to show for himself that could have gotten him
what he
elected as
did
senator?
in the past that made him representative on the basis of that, he elected him for 6 years at the lower house. But at the Senate, he won because the seat was vacant. There is nothing he could show that he should make him senator. He won because the government had won. If he were contested 2019, he would have lost. The reason is simple. Because the government, in 3 months, the government failed miserably. In the next 4 or 5 months, because when the government just comes to power, people have the hope that this government will liberate us. So on the basis of that, let us give them this seat as well.
Okay. You said he has undermined his own government.
Right.
Yeah, so I want you to stress on that part quickly. How do you mean that Senator Sir Joseph has undermined his own government and subsequently will lose the seat, if not to you, but to someone else?
To me.
To you, okay.
I will defeat him.
Okay, you will defeat him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We will defeat him.
Okay.
This is the point. Sir Joseph, I choose not to mention him.
But you just did. Just
Yeah.
go ahead. We know that I sit off of
The
graphs.
incumbent
Yeah.
is the chairman executive at the Senate. I'm sure he should be maybe the second or third most powerful man in the CDC. He's playing role. Is that he has no understanding of the legislature. Meaning, you being the chairman and executive, you're the third most powerful man in the Senate. You should be there to help the government. But there's a man who is currently not only serving as senator, he's serving as minister or director of NTA, minister of public work, or custom broker or LRA boss. Or I mean, he's just everywhere.
Somebody will say at NTA we have Harry Macaulay. At LRA we have Commissioner General Thomas Dona. So how then are you saying Senator Sir Joseph heads those entities? Be practical about your answer, sir.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
You need to go back for tutorial. The role of the senator, that oversight role, a nuclear definition. Most of our lawmakers have no understanding of that oversight role. They are misusing that role. The oversight role of a senator, it is not to go and build rule. Your oversight role, that is why the Constitution or the cardinal instrument, or let's say the working tools of our country, says when the president appoints, the senator has authority to confirm or deny or reject. That tells you the reason you are given the power to confirm it is because you have the oversight tomorrow, just in case that person you confirm is not effective. The right is given you to invite them or someone there, questioning them as to why they are not effective. But his understanding of oversight role is to go and bring yellow machine and go open roles. That is not a role. What he's doing is more like he's projecting, he's selling himself as an individual. And the reason is just simple. Because he has 2029 ambition of becoming president of Liberia.
Okay, you just giving us some news.
So, that is not a role. He's going to carry a glory that the government is not carrying. If I was a sedition, I would have been the first campaigner against Sir Joseph. And that is why the buses that he brought from the US,
the Monserrato Transport Service,
it contains his pictorials. What is your picture doing on the buses? What do you want to show? Okay, I agree. He's helping his government. Why is it the president's picture is not on the buses? Why is it Saab's picture is on the buses? If I was a sedition, I would tell all of them. I would vote against him and I will campaign against him because he's undermining his government.
Okay.
And mind you, he's also undermining the private sectors. When they go to America and bring anything into the port, you have duty free. So there's a businessman at Demo who want to go and buy buses and bring them here. How do you get the buses or the port? It becomes a challenge.
Someone will say he's also remedying the issue of transportation.
That's not how.
Scarcity of vehicles and trying to make transportation affordable using this duty free.
Let me help him. That's not how it works.
How does it work then?
Thank you. As a senator, today, if you check on the streets of Monrovia, you will not find more than 5 NTA buses plying the streets.
Okay.
Walk to NTA, open the fence, check in there.
Okay.
There are buses that are packed, government buses, on the basis of lack of spare parts.
All right. What are your chances of unseating Sir Joseph Jalo? What are your chances, if you want to take it on a percentage scale, and tell me why you feel your chances are that high?
Simple.
What percentage do you think are your chances of unseating Sir Joseph?
I'm not going to give you a clear percentage, but what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to defeat Sir Joseph.
And who are your constituents? Who are those? You said you work with the youth as well. Your constituents, and give us what level of work have you been doing that has given you such confidence?
Let me just make this clear to you. I'm not going to be anybody's school I'm not going to build roads. I'm not a fake person. Let me tell you this. This is a revolution. This is not about me. There are people that are supporting this cause, not because they love me, but because they believe in my vision. They believe in this revolution. Because this revolution I'm starting, there's a pathway that I'm creating for other young people. That people who think, who are abusing our parents, who are abusing us on the basis of our own resources, and they are stealing from us. A young man in Jalo, if a young man in Jalo can become a senator, a transformational young man, that will pave the way for Diamond tomorrow. That tomorrow we should not be afraid of people in power on the basis of the resources they have, on the basis of the power they possess. We made them. I was on campaign, I made 5 senators in this country. So we made them. So why should we be afraid of them? So the point, there's a pathway, like I said to you, this is a revolution that we're creating. We are creating a pathway for other young people to follow. And this is the point. Who knew that? What's the credential you have politically before you became senator or representative? Who was that? Where he came from? There are young people that have been around the corridor, that have sacrificed their lives in this country, that have gone to jail, that went to a lot of struggles in the country.
Yeah. So as you elaborating on that, let's get to this quickly because we have to go to the phone lines as well. What would you be doing in terms of running? Would you be running on the ticket of a political party? Still with the PRP though, but the PRP is now with the CDC, and I'm sure they will endorse CDC candidates. So are you sticking on Team Cummings to be able to ride on the ANC ticket, or you run as an independent candidate come candidate nomination time?
No, this is the point. I'm not going to. The CPP already have a candidate that I know and that I respect. And I hope Mr. Cummings, I don't hold in
but you are negotiating to be the ANC candidate, the CPP candidate in County?
I think the two parties have an agreement. Okay. I have an arrangement, the ANC and the Liberal Party, which I respect. This is, like I said to you, I feel that my bid in this process, it is a political party that made me the win.
So you go in as an independent candidate?
I just want you to know that I'm not going to ride on political party to win.
Party is important.
I'm fair enough.
Yeah,
I know the cost.
Are you going to be an independent candidate?
Attached to going on the party ticket or independent candidate, right? I know that. What I'm saying to you, even if I should run a party ticket, I'm not going to ride on the party popularity to grow. Like I said to you, I'm revolutionary. I believe in myself.
So which are you going to do? Run as an independent candidate, or you still in negotiations to run on a party ticket?
For now, I'm still an independent candidate. There are a lot of consultations that's ongoing. Parties have reached out to me. Okay. But like I said,
some of those parties that have reached out to you.
No, I need not to mention that here. What I'm saying to you, or their consultation is ongoing. Parties have reached out to me. But before, even if I should run a party ticket, there should be that vision that you see. It's not just about running a party ticket. That's me. It is not about just running the party ticket. It's about knowing the vision you have for our country before I can attach myself to you.
Okay.
So that's another thing. But there are a few things that you didn't ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's important.
Yeah, go ahead.
You see, the incumbent has failed miserably. Miserably. There is nothing tangible that he can show on the basis of why he was elected. The reason you are elected to be a senator, it is not to go in the Senate and do business and compete with private sectors. Do you know those trucks that are currently flying from here to Western region? Those contracts, those trucks that are taking the iron ore to bring it to the port.
You mean Western Cluster?
The Western Cluster. Do you know how the incumbent fought to get a contract? Fought private sector people. People that are contributed to our taxpayers. They are being marginalized because an incumbent has the authority as a senator, as the third biggest man in the Senate. And there's a man who is fighting, struggling, screening the business sectors. And it's unfair. And that is why we, as young as we are, we're not going to the house to get money. I'm not going there to get rich.
So what would you do to your salaries then? You say you're not going there to get money. Are you going to take portion of your salary and give back to Montserrat County, or you say, okay, this is what I would do with my salary? You're not going there, but remunerations is important as well.
I'm not going there to get money. I'm going there to provide transformation.
So you don't want a salary?
I'm going there to pave the way for other young people.
So you don't want a salary?
No, I'm not saying I would need a salary.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a fake person. I'm telling you what I'm not going to do. I am not going to go and undermine the private sector.
Okay.
Like what SAI is doing. SAI is undermining the private sector. Do you know that the steel company, the Seti brother, that produces steel in Liberia today, when steel was imported in Liberia, it was cheaper than now it's produced here. Do you know that? Do you know why? Why should a certain lawmaker build a technical school? When you have a technical school that is struggling, MVTC is struggling on the basis of financial aid. Why can't you allocate resources in strengthening MVTC? Why are you building a technical school? Why it shows? Why it dictates to you?
But being a lawmaker also doesn't stop you from doing business, does it?
Yeah. Why are you doing business? To do what?
So
that's a violation. You should not do business.
If you were in business at the time and you turn it over to someone else,
conflict of interest. You need to do business.
Are you saying that if you are a lawmaker, you solely depend on lawmaking? You don't have any other external
when you
income?
are a lawmaker? Oh yes. The reason is simple. You know why you should pay more attention as a lawmaker?
Go ahead.
Because over the people that elected in the county or district that you serve, whether you represent or senator, you owe them. You owe them. It's not about you. You should not be thinking about yourself anymore until you retire from that seat. After your term, you can go and do what you want to do. But when you are a lawmaker, and that is why you are not forced. You ask the people that you want to serve. Even their petition, you accepted their petition. So if you want to do business, kiss the door.
Okay. 1 minute, Emmanuel, before you come in, Mr. Jalo, you said your constituents, you've worked with a lot of young people within Montserrat County. This county has been a drug-infested county. We saw the acquittal in the $100 million case, the biggest drug case in West Africa, biggest drug bust as well. If you are elected senator, or should I say when you are elected senator, what's your stance on drugs, drug importation and illicit drug and substance abuse in Liberia?
The first thing is this. To fight anything in life, the commitment is important. How is the drugs coming to Liberia? Who are those that are bringing the drugs? You cannot fight the ghettos when you're still coming. Those that are in authority are the ones that are bringing drugs in Liberia. So before you can fight drugs, let us name and shame them. And that is why in my press statement, I don't know if you follow it.
Yeah, you said you carry 2,000 persons.
Right.
Huh?
In fact, I said 3 years. The first year I'm going to go, the protest we're going to assemble at the Capitol building. We will demand our lawmakers to take drugs tests.
Oh, you force them to take drugs?
Oh, yeah.
You can't the drug
As a matter of fact, I speak to you right now.
Are you still interested in doing
that?
My
boys are on the field right now. Those victims, their parents, those children that died, their mothers are the ones that will lead that protest.
When are you going to do that
No.
protest?
I cannot give you.
You don't get it.
No, for now.
But is it going to happen anytime soon?
I can tell you that. The first area will be the Capitol building. The second place will be the embassy where we'll go assemble. The third will be Jamaica.
Why are you going to Jamaica?
Because they want to take the real substance.
So just to slide you a little backward, as an aspiring senator, what do you make of Senator Darius Didon's salary settlement for lawmakers as it relates to reducing it to 5,000 and below? What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it makes sense, but I think we need to be more practical. When we say things, we should stand by what we say.
Okay.
Nadia was saying it. Whenever we decide to come up, because whenever you are a leader, you make a statement, it's a policy statement. People hold you accountable to what you say. So what I think is a very good thing. Let us discourage people that are coming on the basis of money. Let people come on the basis of service. Because when people start coming on the basis of money, that is one of the reasons you see people going to bank taking loan. I'm not going to bank and take loan to do what? So when you reduce the salary of a lawmaker, those that want to come to to enrich themselves will not come. People who want to serve will come.
Okay.
So I think that even the 2,000 will be okay, I think.
All right. Emmanuel, we just have to hold it there. Mr. Jalo, let's go to the phone lines quickly. 077771075, 055101075. We have Mr. Channel Jalo in studio. He is a senatorial aspirant for Montserrat County, and he has said his leadership is going to bring practicality to Montserrat County. It's going to be a revolutionary leadership that he's seeking to provide to the people of Montserrat County and Liberia at large. And in fact, He's going to lead. Is how many men? Over 2,000?
Over 2,000.
Over 2,000 men to the Capitol building, the U.S. Embassy, and subsequently to Jamaica, the private home resort of the president. Why are you going to do that again to Jamaica?
Well, we want to machine them.
Okay. All right, let's go to the phone lines quickly. 1 minute per caller. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, Daniel.
Diamond.
Sorry for the information.
No problem. Go ahead, sir. Morning to you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let me say good to your graphic studio. My name is Mohammed and Kanension. It's wonderful morning, working morning. I speak to you on this number 16. The favorite in most of the countries, but I talk about the Bush Islands.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
Thank you, Dime. I listened to your studio there and he tried to ask him 1 or 2 questions and then he tried to beat around the bush.